welcome everybody to the Breachers Season 1, Week 1. My name's Nightfire with 2 E's. I'm joined by my co-caster, Philibust. Phil, how are you feeling at this debut cast for Season 1, Week 1?
I feel great, man. I'm so excited. Season 1 finally getting underway. We've had some crazy announcements come out, bringing up the hype. I have been waiting for this ever since the end of the grand finals of preseason, and it's finally here. I'm almost on cloud 9. It's almost surreal.
I know. We're so excited. We have a double header going on today where there's going to be 2 games cast back to back, so do be sure to stick around for what is going to be a long day of Breachers action live for you. If you're tuning in, these teams are competing in the VRML Season 1. There's over $8,500 in cash and hardware on the line right now, including in-game gun skin related to VRML. More info about how to earn that skin, the details around it, all of that coming, all of that TBD, but do know that there is going to be that in-game skin, that VRML branded in-game skin as well for Season 1. So a lot to look forward to, the cash, the hardware, all of that, but you know, the unspeakable value, Phil, of earning something in-game. I'm definitely excited about what's on the line for these teams these next, 15 weeks of season.
It's gonna be so awesome. I'm just so pumped. We're getting a full season. We're gonna have, like, by the time we get into postseason, we're gonna have so much more information to work with. The ranks are gonna be so much more ironed out. It's such exciting times. And then in-game gun skin. I mean, come on, that is just, I can't wait. I can't wait to hear more. I'm on the edge of my seat. See what it looks like. Who's gonna get it? How can we earn it?
I know. Yeah. It's all up in the air right now, but more details will hopefully be coming soon enough. So keep your eyes peeled on the announcements channel. I can guarantee you we've got some exciting stuff coming out next Monday, so do keep your eyes on the announcements channel for next Monday as well. Outside of that, though, front of house sort of stuff, we have a game coming up here, Phil, that we are about to jump into. Both teams not waiting to go. They're ready. They're hungry for the first match, Phil, so we'll just have to kind of give the standard intro during our round 1 pregame setup phase here. But this is Periphery versus Bandit. We'll go ahead and swap the sides there. Bandit on the defense, Periphery on the attack. And this is the game of Breachers. 5 versus 5, search and destroy style game. If you're familiar with Rainbow Six Siege, it is very much like that, but all in virtual reality. All of these players that we're watching are playing this game in VR. And they've been playing it for, in some cases, Phil, 6-7 weeks of preseason. We look at both of these teams, and they have that preseason experience coming in, which is kind of why we wanted to tune into this matchup today.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of debuts. I mean, we're talking about debuts happening today. This is also the debut of the new map in Breachers. So we've got a lot happening in the VRML side, and even the Breachers has got a lot of new stuff going on. So a lot of firsts coming in here. I mean, we haven't seen, nobody's played this map at all, so I have no idea what to expect. I don't know many of the callouts. We are getting a middle floor bomb spawn for the first round here, and it looks like Team Periphery are looking to take the top floor, maybe for a hatch play. So elevate on the roam could come in very important here in round 1.
We are seeing standard, meta strategies here. Drone leads the way in. Pistols are out. No big heavy investment, though. It's all Spectres coming in. And that was one thing that I was kind of curious to see where teams would go in the early game, because there's been some economic adjustments in this game since we've last watched it play competitively, Phil.
Yeah, the syringe got beefed up. Wait, since the syringe increase? I mean, the syringe has been 450 for... It was there for the postseason. Maybe I missed an update. It's been a busy couple of weeks for me.
Yeah, I thought there was some adjustments at some point to the economy, and maybe we'll see, I guess, what those are from the chat, I'm sure, letting us know. But either way, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I am thinking it.
The loss bonus, yeah. So losing, you can get the loss bonus increases. I know, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. You're right. My bad. You're absolutely right. So we got a nice opening here from Periphery, down to just Glitched Robot and Sauceman for Team Bandit, trying to defend off this attack. Look at the coordination here. All 5 members pushing forward. They have control of the B bomb site. Sauceman's going to drop Stanky. And with the double piece, LFT finishes things off and puts Periphery on the board up 1-0. Our debut match on ship.
It is here. We are jumping right into the brand new map introduced. This I can guarantee is new, Phil. I know for a fact. Okay, I know ship is brand new since we've last jumped into Breachers with the preseason, postseason gameplay, and this is maybe one that I'm most excited about in Season 1, you know, on top of, well, maybe second most excited, the $8,500 in cash and hardware, which we'll be saying constantly, reminding you about, very excited about. But, I mean, come on, a new map, that changes up everything. It changes up the 3 map picks that you have available for maps 1, 2, and 3 that you play in the best of 3 series. It's, I really... And on top of that, all the strategies that you're going to see that are going to be fresh and brand new, the innovation over the course of a full season on a new map, it's a good time to be watching some competitive Breachers. I can tell you that.
It is such exciting times, and you know it's that you have the band pick setup. Well, not bands, but that third map pick. Now instead of just picking side, you actually got the choice. Do you want to pick side, or do you actually want to pick which of the remaining 2 maps do you actually want to play? That makes a huge change to the before they even get into the game strategy.
Yeah.
So yeah,
tactical
I think
sort of decision making. Do we go with our best map first? Maybe we save. You know what I mean? Because there are just a few, just that extra option. You know, we love to see it. Stanky popping off with a headshot to kick things off for the Periphery second round, and a nice attempted defense there. Sauceman and Glitch Robot both actually picking up a couple of kills as Jai Guy. Holding the rifle, fends off Sauceman, rotating from the bottom floor.
Yeah, that was a nice start off to the round from Bandit. The pinch coming in from the Sauceman on the flank. Now Stanky coming around, finding Glitch Robot on the backside, and Elevate though with that Spectre, and that is a Vezin down. Almost called it a Vandal. I'm playing Valorant too much. The Vezin is down, but it looks like King is going to be able to reconnect. But down to a 2v2 here on the second round after losing the pistol. Bandit looking to immediately answer back.
I mean, it's week 1, Phil. We're tuning in to see how these teams are going to be are starting the very, you know, essentially what has been now over a month of off time, you know, depending on, you know, how much scrimming they've been doing, how much practicing they've been doing. That's what we're here to see. Shaking the, you know, seeing these teams shake off the rust, and hey, we're also shaking off the rust here. It's been a long off season for us on the desk too. I think I called the Spectre the Spectral, so you know it's rough out here on the casting.
It is
desk.
the Spectral. Spectre is Valorant. Spectral is.
Okay,
yeah,
so I was right.
No,
I was right then. Okay. You're the one that's wrong. The Spectral, yeah, okay. Anyway, we're shaking off the rust here. Yeah, you did. You said Spectre.
Something like that.
Whatever. Who cares? We're shaking off the rust, and we'll be sure to be calling them the right gun names going
Big
forward here.
rotation.
Either way. Yeah, look at this.
King
I like
did-
the swing.
He did manage to pick up that Vezin as well. So now 2 Vezins strong. Both of the Vezins they bought have been recovered, and this makes it extra level difficult for Elevate and Flare here. But 40 seconds left on the clock. They've done well to defend so far. If they can just maintain and stall this plant for another 30 seconds, this round is in the bag. King getting dropped down very low, but he has a syringe in hand. Jai Guy finds Elevate. Flare managing to finish Jai Guy. Now 1 versus 1. They both know where each other are. The gun is going to come in. King with the Vezin, just too overstrong versus that Spectral is not going to be quite enough going into round number 3 here. But Bandit did well to get 4 kills. That means one of the 2 Vezins that Periphery bought into that round will not be recovered. So you might see they still can full buy, but that's going to be a little bit of, just have to see them drop some utility. Actually, they got a bunch of money, man. I don't know how that's must have got extra money for planting the EMP, I guess. Yeah, attacker privileges.
Either way, it looks like we do have the full buy coming in here on both sides, and yeah, now we get to see the gloves come off. Everyone is a little bit warmed up, and our first full buy round of the season, Phil. It's all exciting stuff. It's all sort of fresh sort of energy to it. I feel like I'm excited to see, you know, maybe some teams have, especially for ship, you know, they've been practicing. They've been scrimming on ship and developing strategies all in the dark, all while we've been waiting and then the off season, you know, and now we finally maybe get to see some of these strategies. So what is Periphery going to break out here on their attacking full buy round? It looks like a breach onto A site. opening things up, and a coordinated push like we've been seeing. An understanding of the map. They're pinching in from the other side, trying to distract both Flare and Elevate. It's all about that coordination with this Periphery squad right now.
Without a doubt, I believe this was their map choice as well. Stanky finding the opening pick on the Flare, but quickly traded out by Elevate. This is one of the most unique bomb setups on a map that we've seen so far. There's breachable walls directly onto both the A and the B bomb sites. You can open up, and they're on opposite sides of the ship as well. So you're just poking those two huge holes. It creates a crazy amount of pressure for the defenders to hold. I wonder if it's a bit unfortunate as Rise getting picked up by King. It's maybe an unfortunate luck for the defenders on their first full buy round that this is the bomb spawn that they got, because I feel like this is a challenging site to hold.
We were seeing early indicators that ship favoring the attacking side, at least in these first 3 rounds. It's favoring Periphery, as they do have that 4v3 advantage. Elevate still holding the off room, waiting for this team to push in. Eventually, they're going to have to work their way through if they do want to pinch onto A, and it could be an opportunity for a double kill if they stack it up right. Jai comes in, goes down. Wander comes in, but finds the kill. A nice refrag to even the odds, and eventually open up more entry points into that A site.
Still yet to pick up that EMP behind him. I don't think he realized that he didn't pick it up as he goes back for it. Now Sauceman getting picked up by LFT, so that just leaves Glitched Robot in a 1 versus 3. Periphery poised. Put their third on the board. What a shot from LFT coming around the corner. Absolutely brilliant so far. They're up 3-0 flawless. That means 100% of the rounds we've seen on this map in VRML have been on the attackers, for the attackers. So yeah, so far, attacker-sided map, without a doubt.
They are looking solid this afternoon. Pulling up the scoreboard, you can see Periphery 3-0. Kills coming in from Stanky, 4 and 2 assists, so 5 kills from LFT. A couple of kills coming in though from Bandit, and like I always say, especially when we're looking at these early score lines, are there kills at least coming in from that other team? And Bandit is connecting. They are finding some kills each round. They are keeping it relatively close, but for now at least, it is very much in Periphery's control. Especially with this eco round coming in from Bandit. This should be another, clean attacking round for them if they can just keep doing what they've been doing on their coordination.
Yeah, 100%, without a doubt. That second round after losing the pistol, Bandit almost came back. And if, that last 1v1, he had gotten the headshot earlier. If he had Bezin in hand, for sure, that would have been their round. So things not as dominant, perhaps, skill-wise, as we've seen. I also think it was really unlucky to get bottom 4 spawn on their first buy round, because that was their best chance to get their first round on the board, and they got probably the worst site for that. So hopefully we can see them string a couple of rounds together and make this map a little bit more competitive. I want to see what they bring to the attacking side on this map. But for now, yeah, it's been Periphery on a tear, but a nice nade from Glitched Robot is going to find LFT. Tanky pressure comes through, and a counter nade from King as well. Looking rough this round, 2 versus 4 already with pistols in hand, and the attack is coming.
I mean, 1 kill, honestly, in your eco round is oftentimes good enough. It does kind of set them back a little bit, and it's more than you could really ask for when you do have pistols going up against a fully equipped rifle and utility team. Nice nade coming in there from Rise. Almost catches Juan down with very little health into the corner. Rise catches one, can't get Stanky over the top, and that's going to be with, again, 3 left alive. Periphery taking the round win. Going up 4-0 and in clean control. Bandit, wow, geez, what a difference, huh? After 4 rounds down, look at the amount of cash that they get put in. There's a lot more money going in off of those consecutive losses. So Bandit are now full buying in round 4. Usually, I think we wouldn't see this until round 5, and then you'd be crippled for round 6. Was the kind of normal cadence.
Well, this is round 5, but the big difference is they can have so much more money to work with. It means they can already, even on round 4, they can buy a little bit more, but still being able to afford in this round. And then, and the other beautiful thing is when they full buy into this round, they get so much more money still for round 6 that they're still going to be able to buy again that round. So when it's swinging one way, you can kind of, yeah, because this game only has 6 rounds a half, I think it's a really great change they made. Kind of help stifle the huge swings of momentum. But look at this, once again, in their full buy round, they're having the bottom floor bomb spawns again. So this could just be absolute worst case scenario for as far as random RNG for the Team Bandit here. I mean, it's a little bit bad luck if, but maybe they'll prove us wrong and they'll prove they can get a strong hold, get some crossfires set up. We didn't see Periphery break the holes on both sides last round, but it looks like, yeah, they are going to do it this time. So poking holes onto both A and B bomb site, it's just a lot of pressure straight from outside the map where the defenders really can't go. Creates a lot of attacking opportunity here for Periphery. Let's see how they exploit that.
Indeed. Stanky catches one. Out player nearly goes down in the fight with LFT. They'll get scooped up on the backside by Wendo as Elevate catches Stanky trying to rotate in. Like I said, kills do come in on the side of Bandit. 2 down as Rise swings around for a third. Looking for Juan, but can't connect as the bomb plant does come through. Elevate looking to swing in, but the EMP gets planted. They're touched too late. Wanda Sparking tucks in, full heals. It's a 1v2. Elevate's going to have to swing, catch one, and then find the next one. They do the first part. Where's the second? Where is their final defender? Jagai too far off, and Elevate trying to bait out the defuse, but could have just pulled it, could have just stuck it. Jagai finally swinging. They might not get here in time. Elevate looks for the fight.
Oh, so close. I love the way he played that too with the initial tap, tried to bait out the pressure. Unfortunately, he made a step which allowed Jagai to just sit there around the corner. And then yeah, just got, I think he got 2 ticks on the bomb too, turned around with the 180, tried to take the fight, and it just did not go his way. So close. Elevate, almost like the potential savior there for Bandit in that round. That would have been a crazy clutch, but we see the round streak continues. 5 in a row now. Periphery really showing they know their stuff, and they were wise to pick this map first, I think, so far.
Yeah, definitely a clear understanding of their at least offensive strategies out the gate. That's an indicator they would also be good on defense because they know how to defend against their own attacks at least, and their own attacks are looking awfully coordinated. So certainly impressive to see coming in from the Periphery squad out the gate, week 1. Definitely a strong showing here on a brand new map. Yeah, not easy. And again, maybe to the point, maybe Bandit are just starting to warm up here. They've been connecting. They've been finding kills. They get to full buy again thanks to these economic changes. So we get to see another rifle round. And so far, I'm loving how these changes are impacting what we would normally see right now. This round would almost just be a wash at this stage. But that little tweak enables us to have more rifle rounds, Phil, regardless of how teams are doing. And that's exciting to me as a viewer for sure. So very much looking forward to seeing how the Bandit team does on this final round before we swap sides.
Definitely shout outs to Triangle Factory. I've really enjoyed a lot of the changes that they've made so far. I don't think there's many they've made that I've disagreed with. I think everything is steps in the right direction. This creates a little bit more back and forth action. It kind of stifles a little bit of those momentum swings, stops teams from running away with the map as easily. I mean, it's still possible, as you can see here, 5-0 on the scoreline. They're definitely giving Bandit a run for their money as far as running away with it, but it gives Bandit a lot more opportunities for any team that's in this situation to fight back. As Rise Optimal fights back, taking out Stanky. He's been the frag leader for the Periphery squad, so that's a huge opening pick there. Bandit into this final round of the first half. Fortunately, Elevate going down to the way of Wando. And yeah, look at this. All 4 members, they seem to have an attacking idea, pressuring towards this A bomb site, taking a lot of space inside the ship, and just it's a lot of pressure that they're showing. I mean, it's close quarters combat on this map, a lot of tight angles, and I feel bad for Bandit. I mean, it's just brutal. You got to turn and look every which way and cover each other.
I'm curious usage to see what Periphery does on their defensive round. You know, I want to see what kind of setups they're looking at. Hopefully honestly, I'd like to see Bandit get this round so we can see more defensive rounds coming out of Periphery. But either way, it is pretty close right now. 4v4, Jagai tucked into the tight corner, and we got Glitch Robot standing up here on the top of the table. Had a great angle down, but Wanda Sparking shuts things down. Saucepan picks up one with the pistol on the opposite side, springing their trap from the smoke, tucks back in, and finds another beautiful shot on a Jagai.
2v2, but where is Rise optimal? He needs his teammate here to support, and where is he? Oh, he's coming in from behind just a little bit too late. Unfortunately, we have a disconnect. Bot Arthur's going to be dropping down. It's a 1v1, LFT versus Rise optimal. Rise seemed to be aware, and he's going to go for the rotation around. I love this movement from him. He's going silent. If he chooses to wrap all the way around, I feel like LFT will just have no idea that he's behind him. This could be...
Where's the MP?
Yeah, the MP is down in...
Oh, right in front.
Right next to the bomb, yeah, on
Yeah.
A. And I think LFT is going to have no clue. Even if he comes in through the connector behind the... I don't know any of the callouts here by the kitchen. Oh, he's going to rotate to B. He has no idea Rise Optimal is going to be over this way. Should be in a great position to peek if he peeks while he's planting.
Oh, wow. Optimal's going to have the back of LFT if they just pop out. And no time. LFT doesn't get the plant in time. They spend too much focusing on trying to get the right plant position, and Optimal plays it perfectly, tucks in, and that's a point in the Bandits' hands when they needed it most, Phil. And those, I mean, hey, love to see it. Hats off to Triangle Factory. There's your change in full effect right there, enabling that round to even happen. And Bandit do a great job of now at least getting themselves 2 rounds on the defense.
Yeah, so no matter what, after this first round, we will get to see a second round. They will
offense,
at least get
excuse me. They're on the offense.
On the attack, yeah. Get to see Periphery's defensive setup. They show him that their map knowledge is pretty good, so I would, you wouldn't be surprised if they just knew. They came into this season 1 with a lot of preparation, focused on this new map, hoping to catch teams off guard like Bandit, who maybe haven't spent as much time working out the new map's kinks yet. You know, I mean, I kind of take the, I understand the Bandit route, because trying to grind out strats on a brand new map from nothing when you haven't even seen any other teams playing on it or got any attacking ideas or seen what other people are doing, it's like going in blind to it's so much more difficult. You have no information to work with, and it can take a lot longer. But here, it's paying off here for this first map, 5-1. Now Bandit immediately going for the hatch play. Bush Robot with the drone, followed up by Rise.
Really good coordination on the attack coming in from them right now. That drone coming in just at the right time. Almost King going down there from the double shots coming through, and so far a seemingly very good understanding from Bandit of how to push into this objective space. They're going to breach open a wall with them on both sides, and the A push is in full force.
Yeah, I love the positioning. All 5 members on the... Here in the control room of this ship. Wando getting the first peek. LFT in a nice little headshot glitch, peeking over that wall. It's going to be a crucial spot. They're going to have to root him out. They do take out Wando, and they get LFT, so they have control of the A. Bombsite King trying to do what he can to hold them back. And look at this, 4 clean kills unanswered. A Stanky with the flank. Finishes to pick up 2 quick kills with 35 points of health remaining in the 3v1. He's going to have to be on for the 1v5 ace clutch here. I mean, we've seen Stanky popping off with some kills, but this is a tall ask to do with a pistol.
Indeed it is. Alone in a 1v3, and they'll get caught out by Sussman. A nice headshot connecting there, and it puts Bandit up around on the offense. 3 left alive, no less. That is, well, an indicator to me of a comeback. Round 2, options for them to full buy-in, not quite yet for Periphery. We don't see these economic changes really take effect until you have consecutive losses. That's when we see these changes matter most. Right now, it's only 1. So Bandit have a clean advantage going in to round 2, technically round 8 of our reset here. And I'm very curious to see what kind of continued coordinated plays we see coming in from, again, both teams. Bandit so far, a clean understanding on the pistol round. What do we get out of a half buy, a partially aggressive round here? Some utility and a couple of rifles coming through from them.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, on the defense, they didn't really seem lost on the map. A lot of those rounds were pretty close, despite how coordinated and good map knowledge Periphery are displaying. And after that first round, the coordinate, I mean, that A take was clean. They got 4 clean kills without losing a single member. So they do seem to know the map. They at least have some idea of what they're doing. And yeah, the coordination is here. You see all 5 members pushing around on this B side. And if they make their move quick enough, there's only 2 members here to defend. So they have a huge numbers advantage. But you got, LFT is right above them on the floor above. He's going to have the audio cues. And you've also got Jai Guy. So we see an interesting double roam strat from Periphery on the defense. one person roaming on the top floor as Stanky gets first kill on the glitched robot. And one person roaming on the bottom floor, and it looks like they're going to be pinching on the staircase right behind them. This could be... Hey, they get one out of it with just pistols. This is impressive. I mean, Bandit bought 3 rifles into this round, so every kill you get, it can be pretty huge here. They're already down to 3 left alive.
Thankfully, it's the 3 rifles that are left alive, and I stand corrected as Stanky finds another headshot. Nice connection there. Very long-range corner as they peeked around B side. Sauceman's going to get aggressive, look for some shots there. But they're getting pinched from, like you said, kind of all the angles. There's the threat of them on the stairwell. There's the threat of them peeking that short angle. They got the long-range shot around from that B site, and then King on the opposite angle. So there's a lot of checking points for Sauceman. If he wants to peek and swing, they got to check at least 4 different positions as quick as they can. So it's almost a bit of a disadvantage on the peak there coming in from Sauceman, but they scoop up LFT, and that's a big kill because LFT was about to spring a trap on the flank.
Yeah, I like the way LFT played that. I mean, he was one of the people backstabbing from both sides of the stairs. I believe he was on the top stairs. That's why you saw Sauceman constantly turning around. They had to check. Stairs was a double angle to pressure, not only coming from the top of the stairs, but also from down the stairs. Basically 2 different angles where they were set up at. He went all the way around the map, came all the way, and was about to go through that, sleeping chambers area, and just nice little snapshot there from, I believe it was Flare. Now they're in a 2v3, and they have the guns, and 55 seconds left on the clock is plenty of time. They're not rushing this. They're not stressed. I think they're defending where the downed rifle is as well. I don't know if they realize they could just pick that rifle up and put it on one of their chests. That way there's no chance of an enemy scooping it. But double risk. If you die, then you're dropping 2 rifles instead of just 1. So,
Sauceman point with that active camo there, pushing in, trying to make sure and clear out their flank just in case someone was on the rotation. They already killed 1 flanker. Seems though that they're gonna go back to their original approach onto B and just fly in. Sauceman picks up Wandov. And they're going to be able to then put the plant down as Flare guards from any sort of rotations, and it's going to have to be the retake from King and Stanky. Stanky goes down. The rifles prevailing in the close quarters fight. King alone in a 1v2 against 2 rifles, pistol in hand. Definitely a tough challenge ahead of them.
Yeah, I mean, that was a beautiful rotation back. I'm sure that as they were moving over to the B, Sauceman shuts that round down, and they go up 3 to 5 now, closing the gap. I feel they knew they made some audio cues. I don't know if they heard one of the defenders rotating, but somebody gave the audible to zip right back to B, and the site was almost free at that point because the entire Periphery squad had heard them going towards A, and they over-rotated, and they were able to quickly dash through that hallway. So, interesting use. It was at the top. I think that was the top floor we saw. I ran on the middle floor. I'm sorry. They got pressured from both the top and the bottom floor. So I was on the middle floor, and they were able to cut right back from where they were attacking B straight into the A. Quick rotations that we're seeing on display here for that middle bomb site. That's one. I don't know about you guys. I got my little black notebook out, and that one made a page.
Comments coming in chat that Bandit is better on offense, and so far, Phil, we are definitely seeing that as they are in a clear control for round number 9 of 12. They need to win every offensive round. Otherwise, we're at risk of a tie if they even let one go. So it is kind of do or die right now. A tie doesn't mean the end of the world, as there is a best of 3 that they play out here. So 3 maps potentially. We could be done in 2 maps now, Phil. We don't have to play that 3rd map out anymore. Another change that's comes with season 1.
Oh, wow. I actually missed that one. I mean, there were so many cool things to be looking at. I actually didn't even realize we had made that change. So that's...
Yeah, they are best of 3s now. You know, instead of playing out all 3. Yeah, once you win, if there's 2 and done, then the series is over with. There's no 3rd map to be played out.
We'll save some of the players a little bit of time. I know we saw some teams losing a bit of morale once they lost the whole series and playing that 3rd map out. They weren't quite... It's difficult mind state sometimes for some people to give it their all when they know they can't get the overall W.
I think it's maybe one of the best examples of... Well, we'll get into it later as the push is coming in here. Already, Glitched Robot, Rise Optimal. This is that middle objective that has these vulnerable wall points, and we're seeing from Periphery a much more spread out defense. They're not necessarily focused around the objective space. Instead, you see Jai Guy up on that top floor, ready to spring a trap out the window. Nade comes in, Rise Optimal is vulnerable, they'll go down.
Wow, he just didn't see the nade. King Eater getting aggressive out the window. I mean, this is a huge round for Periphery. They force spot up 3 Vezins into this round, so the fact that they've already got the man advantage is a huge win for them, and this is a very important round for them. If they lost, they were on the back foot there, and it was going to be almost a 1-round game, and they were going to be the ones benefiting from that massive loss streak economic bonus patch. King able to recover a Vezin out that window. Oh, he already had Vezin. I apologize. LFE rocking the Taurus. So 3 versus 4, but only 3 rifles on the defense here. Let's see if once again Bandit with the man disadvantage can pull this round out.
Very aggressive Periphery defense coming in as Jai Guy also looks for some action jumping off of that 3rd floor and won't find anyone here as the Bandit offense has rotated to the other side. Like I did say, like I've been saying, this is a very important, well, every round fear really going forward for Bandit is vital. Otherwise, they're looking at only a tie or even the potential of losing this map. You don't want to start things off on your map pick with a loss. Or no, it's Periphery's map pick. Either way, the breach is here. A nice swing in. Glitch Robot finds one over the top. Where's the EMP plant? It takes some time as Flare tucks into a tight corner, springs the trap onto LFT. The duo comes crashing in, and they both go down in a flash.
Props to Bandit on that one. I really actually like the way Jai Guy and Sobra both pushed at the same time while the plant was going down. That was a great opportunity. I like the coordination there on the retake, but the counterplay was there. They got both taken down at the exact same time. Didn't end up working out in that case, and that is Bandit able to make that 3v4 happen. I thought they were getting punished when they rotated all the way around slowly, only to realize that they hadn't blown the wall on the other side of where the B bomb site was, where they ended up breaching through. The quick foam up, pop the wall, and push through all at the exact same time was very effective. So a good recovery in that round. I mean, Periphery, they're poking. I mean, it's a similar story as we saw in the first half. Periphery are losing these rounds, but it's not by a huge margin. It's close. It could go either way, it feels.
Full buy. No, only at least a half buy coming in from Periphery off of that last round because of those kills coming in, because of the consecutive loss bonus coming in. They're starting to get those opportunities to fight back a little bit more. But even still, it's Bandit in control with the full buy here, utility, drone work coming in to assist them, the foam breach into the top, and already the outside of A clear and in control by the Bandit offense.
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting situation because we talked about before, especially in the preseason, about how teams would get caught in the trap of forced buying over and over again. And then before this update, they would only ever be able to afford like mostly SMGs. Now they're forced bought last round with 3 Vezins. They're able to force buy 3 Vezins again. And I believe next round they would also be able to force buy 3 Vezins. So I think that's, 2 opening picks from Bandit, though, is going to make this seem questionable. I mean, I feel like they're still getting caught in the trap of force buying every round, which means they're never having a full 5 Vezin solid round. You know?
Yeah, it's the new economic struggles are here with those changes. How do you manage? What do you prioritize? So far, a beautiful nade there from Flare and a headshot over the top, catches 2 and sets up Bandit for the 5th offensive round, or excuse me, fourth offensive round. Yeah, 5th round total in the series, and they tie things up. They're barreling towards taking map 1 off of the comeback on the offensive swap, Phil.
Yeah, it's tie game, 5-5. We've been talking about how attacker-sided this map really seems, and once again, Periphery stuck in a force buy situation where they're not going to have a full buy here. And I mean, that was a beautiful round. It was just very similar to their pistol round, and in almost every way, other than it wasn't a pistol round. They had the coordinated attack onto A. They blew both the walls. They charged in. They swept the site, and then the flank, LFT was there. Where in pistol round it was stanky. This round LFT was there on the flank, just once again though in a 1 versus 5 situation. There's not much you could do. I think that's an adjustment that Periphery could make on the defense. Get that backstab in a little bit sooner before the attack comes in and you get the pinch going on. But oof, 5-5 now. Another 4-spy round. This is a big flip. The tables have completely turned here in the second half.
Yeah, they are taking it the distance, and man, we gotta wonder how that energy feels on the Periphery side right now, off of coming in so strong with the offensive wins, almost taking your first set 6-0. Still 5-1 is solid, but ultimately it's not enough if you allow Bandit the comeback like they've orchestrated here. And geez, I think right now I'm confident in saying that Ship is a offensive favored sort of map here. So I think maybe we'll see more of this sort of offensive domination, at least in the early weeks. Maybe it won't be a little bit until we start to see more of those commanding defensive holds. But 4-4 out the gate.
Well, I mean, it's interesting too. You would think that with a new map like this, that defending would be easier, right? Like coming up with attacking ideas would theoretically be harder. I mean, you haven't even seen like these middle bomb sites. We haven't even seen anyone making any hatch plays or anything like that. It just seems the map is difficult to hold on defense. There's so many angles. I mean, it's not that big of a map, but there's so many different angles and rotations and stuff to have to watch. It's tricky.
I still think that these teams have a pretty solid understanding of this map. It's been out for a month, you know, so you're looking at teams that have been in the Diamond and Master tier. They obviously have been putting time in on this map. They know the layout of the map. They understand where common entry points are because they've experienced them. They've played them in scrims or in pubs, and I don't think there's I'm sure there is a ton of unknown, to your point, the hatch plays, those efforts, but I still am seeing some good coordinated work here. Glitch Robot's tucked into the corner, starts the EMP plant, and will get it. One left alive for Perf, and it's going to be round 11 into the hands of Bandit, unless we see a 1v3 comeback from Wandov.
All asked, I mean, especially with the momentum. Bandit is on a 4-round win streak. Maybe they win the last round, maybe a 5-round win streak. But in this half, they've won all 4 rounds so far, and it's
yeah, they did win the
shows
last
no
round.
signs.
Yeah,
so a 5-round win streak. They are on fire right now. They're feeling it is going to be difficult. I mean, Wando has made some big multi-kill plays, but it's going to be tough. So
7 kills so far. They've definitely been in the mix.
EMP planted, that makes it even harder. It means the clock is not in his favor. He needs to find a multi-kill and get a defuse off. I don't think he's going to have time at this point. Like, he's just playing for some kills here.
Yeah, the timer's going to tick down, and maybe ecoing, trying to go for that 6-6, making sure that they'll have enough to full buy all the way, because you do have some low. But I think, again, like we've been talking about, there's going to be enough for everybody with the consecutive losses here. Yeah, everyone. Well, not really.
Able to drop one.
Close.
We'll get 4 instead of 3.
Right.
It did pay off.
Yep.
Getting the kill on the Bandit player didn't pay anything because they have so much money in the bank. You're not doing a dent in that for the last round here, but got 4 rifles here. So this is the best buy that they've had in the last, at least of the last 3 rounds have been all 4 spies with not good buys at all. So 4 resins is the most that they've had. So this is their best chance to put their first defensive round on the board. I mean, they won on attack 5-1, and so far they've lost the 5 straight on the defense here. So I mean, this is where you do it's do or die. The last round, they either tie it up or you got to take the L for the first map.
You got to take the L, and you got to be staring down the possibility of your series being done after that second map. Again, we don't play the third out. We will play the third, of course, if it's tied 1-1. Then we play that third map out, obviously. But if they can win in 2, then that's the series. And it even, it feels like, if anything, momentum matters even more because of that. Bandit, if they can take this momentum, if they can take a map win, if they can take a 7-round comeback, it'll be obviously the best case scenario for them going into that second map.
Yeah, you don't want to give up series point, but one team, well, unless you tie, actually, they could win this tie would mean we guarantee the third map. King buying the shotgun this round, playing a bit aggressive, right in the control room where they've blown the hatch from the rooftop there. And this is interesting. I believe there's 2 hatches from the top of the ship down into this top floor, but I think the other one is probably on the opposite side, where actually, if you look, we can see that 3 members of Bandit have already worked their way in. And yeah, they're going to find Wando down the long hallway. They have control towards this B bomb site. This is going to force a rotation in, and look at the frags coming in. It looks like Bandit are poised to take the first map here. 5-2 left in the server. It's just Jai Guy and LFT.
Now it's just LFT. Alone as the Sauce Man comes in with that camo on. The whole team pushing in 5 alive to wrap it up. Bandit lock in round number 1, map number 1, and they're a map away from locking in this series, Phil. A very solid start, but look at the KDs. You see Stanky and LFT in particular right up there with the rest of that Bandit team in terms of kills, 14 and 10 respectively. Everyone on Bandit 11, 13, and 10 as the top fraggers for Bandit. So there's some good shooting coming in on the Periphery side, and obviously with a close score line, with it coming down to being 5-7, it's no surprise, but what a good back and forth on ship, Phil. I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better debut to that map, to the season 1. I mean, come on, it doesn't get any more down to script than that series right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great comeback. Bandit losing on the first half 5-1 and able to bring it back and actually win the map out, not even a tie. They're now on series point. It's a beautiful debut. I was worried when it started that it was going to be a little one-sided. They lost 5 rounds straight to kick things off. Perhaps a little bit of warm-up necessary as well. We've seen some of these results that may lead me to believe that, you know, sometimes some teams just start out a little cold, need a little time to get heated up, and then they become seemingly unstoppable there on the attacking side. Was Team Bandit. So that was a great, you're right, a great debut. Looks like a second map is going to be Factory. And we did see a side swap, I believe. So Bandit are once again going to be starting on defense. We're losing some players. Looks like they might have called a timeout. Should be a great opportunity for us to talk about. I mean, we rushed into that first map. We had to talk about the VRML Season 1. For those of you who are new, vrmasterleague.com, you can jump in. Even as a spectator, you can jump in and vote for which matches you want to see casted, which teams you think are going to win. We have connoisseur votes there for you guys to make your predictions. Throughout all, you can see the matches list for the entire season. We got 15 weeks, is it?
I think so. I could be wrong. Maybe it's 13. I don't know if 15 is the number, but it's in the teens. That's all I know.
Well, there are a lot of teams signed up for this season, and not even all of them are active yet. I think we'll even have a few more than are going on right now. But so there's a lot of matches for you to check out. Vote on who you think's going to win. Become a connoisseur master. Which teams you're excited to see on stream? You know, put your upvote. I mean, we got a nice crew coming in. We're going to be bringing a lot of Breachers action. So if you haven't, forget to hit that subscribe button. And yeah, of course, you can jump in and get involved as well. There's a VRML Discord. You can jump in, find yourself a team. You can start up a team for yourself, recruit some members. Yeah, whether you're looking to take it to the highest of the ranks and climb up to be that #1 spot team, or just looking to get on with 5 buddies and play a little bit of more competitive than a casual environment, VRML is a great place.
Oh, yeah.
Come in and play, get that Breachers action going.
Yeah, we're going to be definitely tuning into teams that you may be familiar with from the preseason for the first week, maybe even 2. But once the new teams to the league have kind of gotten familiar with how things operate, we will be jumping in and watching some of the new teams. So really getting an idea of where the overall skill level is of people playing the game competitively. And it's going to be a lot of good fun. Really looking forward to seeing some of these new squads that maybe are going to be at the top of the division come the end of Season 1. You never know. That's the beauty of a new season. And so there's a lot of unknowns for us on the desk and obviously for those at home. But take your votes. Take the risk. See what you can do. See what kind of percentages you can get on who you think is going to be winning or losing It's all built into that website for you. Also, a shout out to all of our sponsors coming in and supporting the VRML, at least at the kickoff of Season 1, Week 1. We have HyperX on board, providing first, second, and third place for the NA region with hardware and prizing for placing first, second, and third. We have cash prizing coming in for both regions from our sponsors, ProTube VR, offering fantastic stock options that help stabilize your aim in any VR shooter. The MagTube, one of my favorite tools to use when we are out there playing any sort of the VR shooters. But please do check them out. And if you're interested in picking up one of these stocks on their store, you can use code ILOVEVRML, all one word, ILOVEVRML, for a discount at checkout. We really appreciate the support from ProTube there. Obviously, HyperX coming in on the production end as well. Forget to mention with the Quadcast S, the Cloud 2s. I just got in the new Cloud Buds that connect both Bluetooth and to your PC through a wireless connector. They're really solid in-ear buds that you can easily transfer from in-home to your phone or when you're going out. So I do really recommend them. They're nice charging case and everything. So another good solid HyperX product. I'm not sure what else I would expect at this stage because they do continue to put out a great product line. They've been supporting us for a long time, and we really do appreciate their support. You should be seeing a new mic on Phil's end soon enough coming in. We're getting a couple of packages to our top casters from the preseason. You'll be seeing some of our top casters from Season 1 getting packages as well. And if you want to be one of those top casters, you can join the casting team. We have our applications out right now for if you want to be a moderator for the league, if you want to be a caster, or if you want to help us in content creation, so specifically highlights and shorts and stuff like that to help boost that YouTube engagement and get more folks to play Breachers and to play the game competitively. That's the end goal. We want to see this community grow and have a good time doing it. And so far, Phil, I've had a great time with our first set of the day. It has been fantastic. And to the note of our final sponsor, Triangle Factory, they're dedicated to this game and making it a solid competitive esport. You know, they're very focused on the feedback from the community, and in my opinion, they're a great example of, you know, what, especially, you know, as league organizers, what we want to see from developers, because they've been nothing but collaborative for us on our end, and we really appreciate their support, and we'll continue to appreciate it. I'm hoping for maybe even some tweaks into the casting client coming down the line, Phil. You know, some stuff that we've been hoping to get that'll help us put on a better show for you at home, and they're very much open ears on that stuff. They're interested in hearing our feedback, and it's been, again, fantastic collaborating with them to get to the point where, you know, we're ultimately we're able to put on a great show and a great league for a great competitive game. So, you know, to that note, the economic changes we're seeing impact, Phil. That's great. I'm so thrilled we get to see that already playing in effect, and not to mention that's a game-winning effect at the end of the day. Yeah,
I mean, it's so cool. Triangle Factory, without this amazing game, we wouldn't even be here right now in the first place. But I just like every change that they've made, but they've also been open ears, and I feel like everything that, you know, we think the game needs, I feel like it's coming. You know, I have a complete faith in them. They've seemed to really have a solid direction for the game. They seem to know what they need as far as balancing the guns and stuff. I haven't, you know, there hasn't been any decision that they've made where I've thought it's been controversial, you know, or I feel like the majority of people disagreed with it or something. And so that's a great breath of fresh air, you know, and for such a VR, we know that the industry for VR is a little bit smaller than a mainstream game. So to have such a well-polished game with such a solid development team behind it is a blessing. So we got shout outs to them. Can't thank them enough. I'm just super excited for what the future of Breachers has for us in store. We already got a new map, which is just obviously, look at the first map we just saw today. Incredible action already. That's already paid huge dividends.
Yep.
It's exciting. I mean, what the future holds, I don't know. I don't want to actually. I'm still waiting for competitive. That's all I'm going to say. That is going to be so exciting.
Yeah, there's a lot to look forward to for the future updates for this game too. New guns, new skins, new maps most likely coming down the line. You know, all this stuff that at least I would be expecting is coming, you know, and already if any indicators are true, that's what we're seeing, you know, with Ship obviously coming out with a big update, and skins coming down the line with VRML having one of those skins. There's a lot to look forward to, and it is all, again, to that point, tied into getting that community feedback. And I think that was one of the points I was going to make before we got into the cast, was I feel like VRML does best is that we try and take the community feedback, you know. So if you guys have thoughts or comments on what we're doing here or what we're saying or how things are going within the league, we're always open to hearing those. And the best indicator of that to me is the change into the best of 3 format, away from playing that third map, because that's really us engaging the community and saying, hey, what do you guys want? Do you want to play, or, you know, what do you players want? Do you want that third map, or do you want to have it come down to the best of 3 and have that, you know, sweep matter a little bit more? Because that, at the end of the day, is what is the impacted change for Season 1. And I'm already that's something I've wanted to see for a long time, to be honest, within VRML. So I'm happy that the Breachers community feels the same way, and it's just all, I don't know, at the end of the day, just something fun to do for folks like myself and the people that are helping organize it all. So we're having a great time, and we're going to continue to have a great time. We should be about 2 minutes away from getting into our map 2. So, Phil, we've almost stalled long enough to get us to the beginning of the gameplay. I suppose we can do a brief shout out to all of our folks tuning in and enjoying the action this afternoon. I've seen a bunch of people in chat on the YouTube side hanging out and enjoying things. Obviously only the YouTube side, as that's the only place we're live. Make sure to share it with all your friends. Get everyone else in here for map 2, because I mean, heck, Phil, map 1 was a absolute fantastic start to this season. If that's any indicator, what are we going to get out of the map where both teams are even more practiced? Because these two teams have played plenty of matches over the course of the preseason.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I feel like we don't have the exact numbers, but I feel like Periphery chose Ship first, and that was like them throwing a curveball. And from what we just saw, Bandit knocked that curveball right out of the park. I mean, it was close, just barely over the fence, but it got there. You know, that's a match, that's series point for them. And then if I had to look at them starting defense, we don't know, but I feel like because they're so confident on the other 3 maps that they just chose defender. So I think Periphery perhaps were able to choose their second map as well. I'm theory crafting here.
Yeah. I know we don't have the inside sort of details there on who chooses side, who chooses map. We just kind of get the joy of the the unknown when we get to that map pick phase of the series. But I think it goes both ways, right? It's also how the players feel too. They don't know what's necessarily coming until it comes down to that very moment that you transition to that second map.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's been being able to predict too much ahead of time allows you to get a lot of prep work in. So, you know, going on a factory here for the second map, Bandit is on series point. It's Periphery fighting for their life already. Like, are we going to get to a map 3 even, or is Bandit going to close it down in 2? It's tension is rising. Season 1 is kickstart off pretty well.
Here's the beautiful thing, Phil, is that even if we do only get 2 maps, we have a whole nother game coming later tonight. That match starts in 1 hour from now. It's 6 p.m. PST right now. It starts at 7 p.m. PST. And I do know there's a lot of folks looking forward to that matchup as well. A little late night, Thursday night action that we'll be getting into after this series concludes. No sooner, though. So at the very earliest, we'll be getting into that second map at 7 p.m. PST. So to the point, we could be done here and have a little break for some dinner before we get into that final matchup of the night. But there is plenty of Breachers left ahead of us, and there's Breachers ahead of us right now as we get into round 2.
That's right. Jumping into Factory here. Second map, Bandit on the defending side. Periphery, I mean, they had a really strong attacking half on Ship, but I mean, everything seemed to play in their favor. You know, they got the bottom bomb spawn, both of the full buy rounds that Bandit full bought into. So I think that played into their favor. And also, you know, maybe Bandit, like we said, possibly needing to warm up a little bit. They're definitely warm now with a 7-round win streak. That's you can't you can't not take note of that. 7 rounds in a row is huge. So they're still on that win streak now going into this final map. Are Perf going to be able to get a momentum swing of their own on the attacking side? We'll find out now as we jump into this first round.
Standard A site opening, breaking that initial window and preparing to push in from the other side too. I don't feel like we saw a lot of entry in to that B window. Most of the time it was focused on breaking into the A stairs, opening up A wall, and getting control here. It's what the drone's doing now. It's scouting for any defensive setups, and it will get shut down quickly by Glitched Robot, but get a little bit of info.
And he gets out. I mean, that was actually so important that drone managed to spot him. He was playing that off angle there, and that can be such a powerful position to get a free kill and a backup over the double statics that he had next to him. The drone spotting him, and then he was able to get out, despite the fact that LFD had worked his way into that vending machine side. But now with full vending machine control, they blow the wall into the A bomb site, and there's nobody on A. I mean, the whole team is. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, Sauceman tucked into the corner, but he is
bottom floor.
There's the rotation. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're setting up for a kind of pincer maneuver while on the defense, and this is interesting. With the, I like the idea here that Bandit's bringing to the table, and Perf are taking their time on the attack, which is giving Elevate all the time he needs to rotate around. But look at Stanky's positioning. He is waiting for the flank. He was perched, looking through that window. Jai Guy's gonna be able to get the pick onto Rise Optimal, trying to flank around locker room side. The shots are going back and forth. And it is Bandit coming out on top, but Flare surviving with just 1 point of health. Still anybody's round.
Trying to push into the A site that they managed to open up, gain control of, but gosh, is it hard to root out the spots that Robot and Sauceman have tucked into. Unless you have nades or a utility, you really just have to win a guessing game, a game of peekaboo, really, against your opponent, because you don't know when they're going to try and spring their trap. And the other option seems to be the better choice, where Stanky now has opened up the wall and is going to try and work in.
Just to clear out the wrong spot. Both Sauceman and Glitch Robot in the powerful positions on the left. Sauceman's going to pick out a two-piece, leaving Stanky all by himself, and he's getting flanked by Elevate. Gets a nice 180, but he is just too many angles for him to look out for. And that is Bandit continuing their win streak. That's 8 in a row. They put the first round on the board here on Factory. That's a huge, I mean, let's see. I mean, it's still only the first round, but they're on a massive momentum swing, and Periphery just hasn't had the answer to shut them down so far.
They really are awoken off of that 5-1 ship series. And yeah, they are, like you said, running away with momentum. It's an early test for the Bandit squad. You know, again, a team that's no stranger to having these close battles. But it's season 1. It's week 1. There's prizing on the line. You know, these wins and losses have more impact than just your standard preseason for fun sort of, you know, playing here. So it's I gotta wonder if maybe the pressure's also kind of kicking in a little bit. Your first game also back. You're getting it cast. There's certainly a lot to be processing if you are a player on the Bandit squad right now. And I guess to the other side, if you're on Periphery and you are really running away with momentum, that can mean even more when you know that there's people watching and that you're performing on a stage. It's so far going well for Periphery. I got to swap sides on the scoreboard. A good thing I did it before the start of the round. But so far it is going very well for the Bandit squad. Yeah, excuse, that's why I had it wrong. And Periphery really need to step up here in round 2.
Yeah, you're right. It is an absolute test for Periphery. I think you meant. And it's because you know you get a 5-1 lead to start out the half, and then you lose 6 rounds straight on defense. That can be mentally taxing. You know, that can be difficult to overcome. So it's, you know, let's see if they can kind of move past that, get a little bit of momentum. I mean, that's the best cure for that kind of problem, is find a little bit of momentum. That makes it so much easier to shake that off when you start to get back into the swing of things, get a few kills, make a couple big plays. Stanky throwing his classic nade through the hatch directly into the connector. Finds a bunch of damage onto Flare there, actually, but doesn't quite find a kill. That is such a powerful nade. Oh, I've seen him favoring lately. If you play any ranked games against this guy, he will be throwing that out every map. Just not trying to throw his strats out the window here for everybody to see, but be ready for that nade, I'm telling you.
Certainly did some good damage on the flare. LFT looking to do some good damage here as they spring a short corner trap. They're behind the defense, and finally Flare shuts things down before they can do more damage. Rise Optimal picking up one dove. There's a shot on the back. The whole collapse here onto Bandit is working relatively well. They found a couple of kills on their eco round, and that's all they really are looking for at this stage. I suppose a win on the pistol set would be nice, but this is good enough. Rise Optimal trapped in the corner. Flare on the short side almost goes down themselves. Shy Guy doing great with the Spectral. They catch Rise as well, but the nade finishes them off.
That's not horrible. Sauceman are going to be able to pick up that Vezin. It looks like he does right at the last second. Yeah, so they finding a couple of kills there. Didn't manage to lose a gun out of their hands, but it's a little bit of money in the bank for your team at least. LFT is going to be able to buy up. So they got a full 5 Vezin buy. Not all the utility that they'd like to see here. Down 2-0, and yeah, this once again, I mean, you take that. Small wins. Like even just getting a couple of kills on your eco round. I mean, they bought 3 Vezins, Team Bandit did on that round. So that was a very difficult second round for Perf with nothing but pistols in hand. And they did find a little bit of success. So I think you got to take that and kind of run with it. You know, every little bit counts here. 10 rounds in a, or was it? Sorry, 9 rounds in a row. I can do math. 7 plus 2. It's they're still on a roll here. I mean, if a Bandit shows no signs of slowing down, they're definitely feeling themselves. They have all the utility they could want to defend this bottom floor now.
Yeah.
Going into the first full Byron, and it looks like we only see 3 Vezins on the Periphery squad.
Yeah, I was wondering about that as well. Maybe a overcommitment from 1 or 2 of them going into that, or maybe not overcommitment, but just get an aggressive commitment going into that second round from 1 of 2 of them, trying to offset the rifle odds. And finally a okay start here as ZK catches some early shots on the Rise through the wall, almost finds a kill but not quite, gets control of B entry site, and oof, that nade had just been a little bit later, might have done some damage. Either way, oh, there's the trip mine. Oh, on the backside, catching Optimal tucked in. Nice damage done there. That's a good start to the defensive hold for Bandit.
Yeah, that is such a cheeky trip mine placement underneath the shelves against the wall. The laser is barely visible. And the double trip they're just instantly deleting. That's very wise utility placement here. And I like the way they've got their static field emitters in the middle of the B bomb site, so that if worst case scenario they lose control of the front half of the site, you know, the attackers are going to be stuck trying to push past those statics, and they have those angles they can peek, and it gives the flank time, like Rise, Optimal, and Elevate pushing through with the flank right now, funding a big 1-2 kills there, and leaving them in a 5v. To make that a 4v2 is LFT with that pistol in hand, trying to do everything he can in a 1 versus 5, but he is going to get dropped by LFT. Oh, sorry, 2v5. Stanky's still alive. Where is Stanky?
They were outside holding through the window, looking in towards the wall of A, but yeah, a little off on the pinch there, and ultimately the rifle doesn't come in to play until maybe too late, or maybe just at the right time. A 1v4 with a rifle in hand is definitely doable, but we'll have to see. It's not. There's plenty of utility down, and the full squad is here ready to go for this initial push. 58 seconds left on the clock. Not a lot of time to work with.
Yeah, I think this is wise. Back up, maybe even go onto the rooftop and bring this. I mean, at least, I mean, I don't know. I've seen Periphery getting stuck in this force buy where they do so many rounds when they're not winning, of just only having 3 rifles in hand and just force buying back to back to back to back, especially with the new loss bonus. I think if you just, when you're down 3 rounds in a row, if you take 1 round, just 1 round, you're not even fully save, you can buy a little bit of utility and some pistols, but just don't buy any rifles. You save up so much money that you can pretty much full buy the rest of the half. So I think there's that extra amount of benefit from getting a save round in, 1 kind of eco round with this new economic strategy that I don't know, forced buying every round is it's not as bad as it used to be, but it's still not as good as saving.
The theatrical save here. I guess thank you giving us a little bit of a show as they hold on to that rifle to wrap up round 3. That's 10 in a row for the Bandit squad now, Phil. They continue to run away with this momentum, and they are getting dangerously close to locking in this full series here and having us be done in 2 maps.
4 rounds away now. They got the first 3 on the board. They've got all the money, all the momentum, everything. All the cards are on their side, and even the fact that Perf is force buying every round is playing into their hands as well. It's gonna be a tough comeback for Perf.
I think if anything, yeah, I don't know. I feel like we've seen Perf do better. I mean, obviously on ship they had a very solid attacking set, 5-1. It's definitely a big shift. Map understanding, map knowledge, match history. Who knows how that all plays into the set right now? But definitely looks like Bandit are in control and. Yeah, the 3 rifles now in round 4. You know, they're not able to. At least it's something. You know, again, it's better than what it used to be. That's for sure. But it isn't the full rifle buy or the full buy that you're seeing coming in from Bandit on the defensive end. And what is the solution? What is the fix? I'm not quite sure. Elevate's going to look for some aggressive plays, and maybe an early pick would kick things off nicely for the Periphery squad.
Yeah, Stanky not quite able to find Elevate hiding behind that vending machine there, and it's, you know, as Elevate the roamer for his team is going to rotate all the way back around to that orange staircase side, so there's a little bit of progress made from Perp so far. They've got, you know, blue staircase control is kind of theirs, and if they want to, they've actually, I don't know if they realize that they've cleaned out the top floor, so if they want to make a couple of hatch plays, that also, that door has now opened up for them as all 5 members of Bandit have kind of fallen back. Are playing tight on the bomb sites now.
Ooh.
Oh,
Wow.
There's a disconnect. Peter subbing in for Periphery member who didn't have a gun, mind you, so that's not a Vezin down. But you hate to see it, because unfortunately that bot's going to push in and get taken out before that player can reconnect. So 4v5 now. 3 Vezins still in hand. See if they can make something happen here.
It's week 1. They still got to shake the rust off, even if it means getting that connection tuned up a little bit for the start of the season. But yeah, an unfortunate couple of disconnects it looks like we saw over the course of this map 2 so far. But Periphery is doing the best they can down that initial 1, and here comes the entry into B site. They realize that their drop down would lead them into some static emitters that they are keen on ridding themselves of before making their entry in. Not sure what Stanky's plan will be as LFT finds a kill, and they come barreling into the objective side. There's no waiting around for their team. They find a triple. There's the 4th.
On for the ace. LFT just charging in, blasting every member of Bandit in his way, and this could be exactly what Periphery needed to get themselves on the board. And 1v4, all down to Elevate. He finds the first one, 1v3 now. The EMP is going to get planted here. And yeah, this is tough. Now they got the post-plant situation. I think they planted it. Yeah, they planted it where they can defend it from outside the window as well if they choose to. Jai Guy tucked into the connector. Stanky is just out of there, playing on the rooftop, playing so safe. This is tough. I mean, it was actually looking rough. Stanky had a great opportunity. There were 2 defenders in that connector, and he went to throw his world-famous nade into the connector that we see him do so much, and it just hit the wrong wall and bounced the wrong way, and it looked like it. I mean, that probably was going to get them at least 1 kill, but LFT made up for that. Droves. Nice little 4K. Looks like Elevate's going to be saving here, so no ace. Fortunately, he did already shut down the ace. LFT is dead, but damage is done. Peripheral put their first round on the board here, and we're going to see that's the end. I mean, there was a 10-round win streak, and now you see Periphery on the attack. So hopefully they can string a few together and keep that momentum going.
It just took LFT flying in to the objective room, completely honestly, Rambo'd their way in and managed to pay off big time as they catch 4 kills out of the 6 that they have in total so far in this 4 rounds that we played. So definitely a big move there that puts Periphery in a little bit more control. They can actually buy and compete going into this next round, into round 5. Although, if you do kind of think about it, I mean, if they lose here now, it kind of puts them in a worse position for round 6 because they don't get that consecutive loss bonus.
No, I think it definitely, like, the amount of money, especially having 3 members alive with rifles they bring
Yeah,
in, they're
it's
stacking up a bank
nuts.
that I think
Yeah.
makes up. I think that makes up for. You'd rather. I mean, it would have definitely. It would have definitely been debatable if they had maybe just one person alive. That it would hurt their economy enough to make it tough moving forward. But at the end of the day, the economy is there to put rounds on the board. You know, you can't. I've thought about this. I was thinking about this with the meta as they change that. What situations you might want to just throw a round away, and I don't think you'd ever want to give up a round just for the sake of having money, because
No.
you actually get much more money for winning than you do for losing. So even though
Course.
resetting that loss bonus, you still, yeah, I think he played it right. But Elevate able to bring that rifle into the next round. They still have some money saved up as well. They're going to be able to buy fully into this round and probably to the next round, assuming Periphery can put a second one on the board. So they're definitely not out of the frying pan yet. Things still a lot of pressure here the defense is going to be applying, but once
We lost Phil, but maybe they'll be back. There they are.
ball
By
gets
the way, into the action here as shots come in over the top. ZK catches one flare, goes down. Glitch Robot gets scooped up, and the pinch coming in is Sauceman. And this is a shutdown LFT, but it's quickly scooped up on the refrag by Elevate, and 4 alive inside objective with Rise Optimal trying to retake. It's definitely going to be a tough task, and Periphery are in very much control here. After just taking that one round, they do a great job of pushing in as a team, coordinated in sync. Almost like a completely different Periphery offense than what we've been seeing. And it really just kind of throws Bandit off. They connect on the kills they need, and we now have Optimal alone in a 1v4, maybe trying to pick up a kill or two here off the back end of the round.
Yeah, I mean, you love to see it from this Periphery squad. They're really showing, for the future of this squad especially. That first round loss was tough on the mental game, and they played it smart. They took the time out, took as much time as they could to reset, and now here in the 4th and now the 5th round, stringing 2 together, it seems like they aren't really letting that get to their heads. You know, they're still fighting strong. I mean, it's no task. Bandit, a very solid squad here. Stringing 2 rounds together, that gives you some momentum at the very least going into the second half. And yeah, this is going to be the last round. Bandit should still be able to get a pretty good buy, especially with Rise saving that Vezin. I think they should be able to get at least 4, if not all 5 rifles on the board here. It looks like it will be 4.
Yep. It can be 4 rifles in total, but fully equipped and utility coming in for the defensive end of Bandit. Periphery finally able to get that full buy-in. I feel like we haven't seen them with 5 rifles in hand very often. Maybe that's like the 3rd round that we've seen them with in this whole series, where they've had 5 rifles across the board, because they have really been doing that force buy strategy. These extra dollars are hard to resist. They're hard not to spend, Phil.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, it's discipline. Discipline is definitely difficult. When 3 of your teammates can buy rifles, it's kind of tough to be like, let's just give this round up almost economically. But when they're winning, it's a different story, right? It definitely can get 5 Vezins on the board when they're stringing rounds together and bringing those rifles back. So last round here, we got the middle bomb sites once again, middle floor, and this was where LFT went off with that crazy 4K through the control room side. So we'll see. Looks like a little bit of a different take on the attack. Here, I actually don't even see where LFT is. He is still lurking around on the assembly side, so. Maybe a similar idea, actually. Stanky.
Yeah, pinch.
Setting up for that nade into the connector. Let's see if he can land it this time. We've got Elevate tucked into the corner and Flare deep in that connector. I don't think he can quite get it that far. There it is. It does kill Elevate, and by not making it into the connector, he actually gets a lot more value out of it. That is very fortunate situation there, but yeah, that nade puts a lot of pressure. It can really like take away a lot of very strong defending spots. So man advantage now going into the last round, but Bot Jonathan once again having a sub in for one of the members of Periphery. Hopefully they can get these connection issues sorted out, but still they've got the opening pick.
Yeah. That was a very nicely tossed nade. You may notice that we do have picture-in-picture replay now, so when good plays happen but the action's still unfolding in front of us, you can actually catch those in the bottom right-hand corner. If I do it right, but I've been trying, and we've been throwing up a couple of them so far. As the push comes in here, that might be worth one. You can catch that in your bottom right-hand corner.
Very nice push there from Stanky. They lined up for him, a little bit of a collateral kill into the connector. 2 versus 3 now. Bandit's not quite out of it, but being at the last round, Sauceman and Glitch Robot definitely gonna make an attempt at this round. Unfortunately, Glitch Robot has not managed to get his hands onto a rifle yet. Once again, we have this very powerful post-plant setup that we saw in the last time. That's why it was Elevate, I believe, just chose to end up saving his rifle, but he's going to catch Wando trying to vault out the window where he could definitely have defended that from outside, but that's a pick going the way of them. So now if they can get a tap, they're going to trying to get up the stairs. They know that one of these members is going to be watching from the hatch.
That's a great
Stanky just in such a powerful position to defend the pressure up the stairs, which leaves Jai Guy safe to just sit around that hat. What a very awesome defensive setup. We didn't even get to see that come into full effect last time because Elevate didn't push for it. But that's why Stanky backed up so far into that roof, so that he's got a perfect position behind cover to defend people coming up the stairs to pressure who's ever holding the bomb through the hatch. That's just brilliant. I love to see that from Periphery, and they managed to tie it up 3-3 going in the second half. So we got ourselves a ball game. And it's still on series point, but Periphery fighting back.
3 in a row so far for them, and maybe it is the season of comebacks. Someone said it early on in stream, and at least map 1 on Shipped certainly was a full comeback from the likes of Bandit. And Periphery are trying to orchestrate one of their own here this afternoon. We go into that reset, like you said, into the pistol rounds. But let's take a quick look at the KDs. Pretty even across the board. We're seeing a few more come in from Bandit. So maybe just some rough rounds, some rough, obviously the 1v2 there to try and wrap that up on the last round. But Periphery are fighting, and LFT leading the charge with 7 kills to 6 deaths.
And part of the reason the Bandit were able to have, I think, more kills overall-ish on the average had to do with them having to save a couple of times. So that denied a couple of the kills would have otherwise gone to any one of those 5 Periphery players. But here we're starting off on the pistol round, and we got the bottom floor setup. We see Stanky pretty much defending the solo anchor on B, and 3 members were towards this A. ZK kind of tucked in the electrical side. And we got LFT is going to be the roamer, and it is going to be a play in through the storage room. They blow the hole into the wall onto B. Pressure is coming in. Nade comes through. Stanky manages to find Optimal. I think is that around the from the connector. Not quite through the smoke, but the flank from LFT comes in quick, and he's going to find one and get greedy for another. He finds the second, and now he's stuck. He finds the third. LFT goes huge with the triple kill. And now it's just Elevate who finally brings LFT down, but he's in a 1 versus 4. The damage is done.
Big plays coming in as Elevate goes down, almost catches Wandov, but does not, and 4 left alive for Periphery on their pistol round. That hurts. We talk about kills coming in. That's only 1 clocked in for the entirety of the Bandit squad. That's very little cashed off of your reset. It leaves you with nothing going into this next round, and everything going into the round for Periphery, because now they can buy into some rifles if they choose, and we do see 1 or 2 of those come in. And Omen actually, by the bot, of course. That could be unfortunate if they don't get in to remedy that situation. Otherwise, there may only be a rifle or 2 available.
Yeah, you hate to see it. I don't know if Wando will invest. It's a bit higher risk now with one of your players being disconnected. Yeah, I mean, he's got 20 seconds to get back in the server before the round starts and be able just to have enough time to sell that Omen. Looks like unfortunate connection issues coming on. I mean, they keep reconnecting. You see the name on that bot changing constantly. So they're getting in and then getting disconnected. It must be some sort of connection issue. Really unfortunate here, but they're still doing well. They won the pistol. I mean, they're on the comeback here. 4 rounds in a row for Periphery despite these connection issues. They got to be feeling pretty good about that.
I wonder if you're Bandit, you kind of have to play into this knowledge. Maybe they don't even know or have recognized that there is a bot on the team, and I do feel like it's almost changed now because look at how much more aggressive they are playing here. They've flown into B site, and they already have full control of B. The EMP plant's coming down before this team even knows what to do on defense, and they go right in to 2 quick deaths. Stanky finally picks up one with the rifle over the top. They're going to swing on the short side and pop their head around the corner looking for Elevate on that side, but they do have that Omen in hand that they've picked up off of the bot, and that's going to pay off. They'll catch the kill on the rifle. It's a 2v3, make it a 1v3.
I like the idea. I mean, Stanky really knew he had to go big there. With the only rifle Jai Guy is going to drop. That's going to be a tie game, 4-4. I mean, he had to go big with a huge multi-kill. He was only able to find 2, but I think pushing out of that connector the way he did into the crossfire and taking the 2v1 was a bit too much. I mean, I think too much of that round was on his shoulders, being with the only rifle on the team. And I think he got overheated there a little bit by pushing out there straight into the enemy team. He knew he had to go big, but I think he rushed it a little bit. It was a good try.
Yeah, and we do now see a 5th connected in, but it's not ZK. It's King that's come in. And I love to talk about this because this is the benefit of this is why you have more than 5 rostered. For this reason right here, so that when you have the chance to stop your team from losing in the first week of the season, you can tap into that full roster. You can say, hey, we need another one, and you can grab that 6th, that 7th, that 8th player you have on your roster and bring them in when they're needed the most. So Periphery aren't going to have that bot flinging weapons at the enemy team anymore, at least for the foreseeable future. And as we're all tied up 4-4, what a time to have everything connect. Full rifle buys. This is a big round 9 right here.
Yeah, I mean, it's 4 rifles managed to still be on the board for Perf despite losing that second round. That's the perks of only buying 1 rifle there. They played it conservative. I mean, you could say maybe it cost them the round, but I think it's the right play because now you have almost a full buy. I don't know about leaving LFT with the pistol. I mean, we've seen how many crazy multi-kill rounds LFT's come out with. He's clearly hitting shots right now. I think somebody get that man a gun. Somebody put a gun in his hand.
I mean,
but
the kill leader, 10 kills so far.
Yeah, but they have a plan. He is. I think this is actually smart, being that he is the roamer for the team. He's the highest risk of, you'd hate to see him get caught on the roam and have that rifle be inaccessible to any of your teammates. Give it up. But it looks like an assembly line play as 4 members dropping down off of this ledge here. They're going to be pressuring to the back side of the A bomb site here. Wando finding the first pick, but there's 3 more coming closely behind, and Rise coming in from the other side as well. So pressure heavily from the A bomb site as that nade gets stuck on the rafters. Was it a molly? It just didn't go off, and Wando comes in huge with the support from his team, and all of a sudden it's Sauceman in a 1 versus 5. It seemed like that is such a coordinated attack going. Sauceman manages to find 1, but he's gonna have to be the 1v5 ace clutch here. I don't know, Nightfire. This is a great hold from Periphery.
I mean, that was a big triple from Wandov. They played that middle forward position perfectly. They sprung the trap. They shut down the coordinated push in, and Jai Guy extends out from their defense, knowing the kill ratio, knowing they have 4-1. They get aggressive in the warehouse and catch the final Bandit attacker before they can tuck in. Periphery are barreling towards a map 3 at this rate, Phil, and if that's the case, we very well could be going from map 3 right into somewhere into map 1 of our next game. Which, hey, that's the double header right there for you. That's 4 hours of good quality breachers coming in. I would not complain if we got taken to a map 3. Obviously, week 1 would be delivering at its fullest, but that's what's at stake now, and I'm sure Bandit are feeling that pressure with only a rifle to their name. It's not ideal for what is only 1 of 2 remaining rounds.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, this is what a great way to kickstart off VRML Season 1, and with a series that'll go all the way, go the distance. I am in it for the long haul here. Periphery definitely fighting back, but Bandit not out of it yet. I mean, it was a bit unfortunate for Bandit that round. I don't know if you managed to catch it, but Rise Optimal coming in from the one side through a molly that went up and landed on the top of the vent and just never ignited. Just like didn't get to where he needed it to clear out that spot, which is exactly where Wando was playing, where he got the triple. And yeah, just the rifles coming in huge into the save round. The one hero rifle still up in Elevate's hands. They're not out of it yet, but 2 versus 5 is a rough start as the quick, aggressive play from Bandit not quite paying off. As Stanky gonna flank in and finds Flare. He drops in through the hatch behind them. And a nice little turn snapshot onto Elevate. Another clean round from Periphery, and they're on map point. So regardless, we're going to a map 3. They've locked it in. The worst they can do now is tie.
Very true. Map 3 is in the cards for the first week, our first game. We could be going the full distance, Phil. We could go the full 21. Or is that right? 7 times 3? Yeah, we could go the full 21 rounds played here this afternoon if these two teams keep going back and forth like they are.
Even more. It's 12 per match. They've gone 12 rounds on the first map. They're going...
Oh,
they
no.
could go 12 rounds here. It's 24, so 36
42.
rounds, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
36. Yep. Yeah. Okay, look, the math can be challenging. Okay, it's 36.
Hey, shaking off the rust. We haven't had to do math for the whole offseason.
I know. I've been math free. Really have been. No subs, no bots coming in again for Periphery, and so maybe that was just the ticket. They just need to kind of lock in that roster, stop the disconnects from shaking them up in those early rounds. And once they did, we've just seen consistent rounds getting locked in from Periphery. They're looking good on this, what could be last defensive round here in round 11 as the full breach comes in from Bandit. They're really not slowing down. Bandit continuing to play a pretty aggressive offense.
And I really actually enjoy that type of play style, you know, sticking to your guns. I mean, if you see it too often when the initial game plan of a team doesn't work or gets shut down or a wrench gets thrown in their plan, that they try to change things up. They say, all right, well, our initial game plan isn't working. And they try to do something they're not comfortable with. Here you see Bandits sticking to their guns, doing what they know they've found success with in the past. It may not have been working out every round so far yet, but you got to do what you're comfortable with here. As it looks like they're comfortable attacking onto this A bomb site. It looks like they're putting a little more pressure, faster than they did last time, which gives less time for the flank. And yeah, the shots going back and forth. They find a few kills, but all 3 members of Periphery are here to defend this A. It's going to be a fight for the bomb site.
Ooh, Jagai catches Elevate out. Sauceman in a 2v3. Flare full health, fully dead as Stanky catches the headshots, and there's the finishing touch from Periphery. They take map number 2, and we are going to a third map 3 decider for the first series of the season. A stellar performance coming in from Periphery to bounce back from disconnect issues and ultimately 10 points in a row going to their opponent. That's a lot to fight against, and they certainly did a good job of sticking in there and ultimately taking that second map on Factory. Where do we go from here, Phil? There's question marks in the air because we don't know. It could be Skyscraper or it could be Hideout.
I love that. This is the first time we've come to this where it's a map 3 and we still don't know what map it's going to be. That's just so exciting. I don't know. I'm hyped. I'm so hyped. I'm glad that this match has been so back and forth. You know, it looked a little one-sided at first, and then both teams have been fighting back strong, not letting the other team run away too far with it. It's neck and neck. We're not quite going to get 36 rounds. We only had 11 out of the 12 rounds on that one, but it's very close to going the full distance. And yeah, it's been great. I mean, Stanky's really been popping off. You got to give shout outs to him. Take a look at the kill feed. He had 14 kills, only 3 deaths there on Factory. He also a very strong performance on ship. He is very big up and comer. I think you're gonna see more of his name popping off on the scoreboards here. LFT, of course, 11 and 9, but some of those kills. I mean, the huge 4K and the 1 round on attack. The massive plays. I mean, not quite taking Stanky down for as far as overall kills, but the impact on some of those multi kills he had, invaluable. Definitely a huge part of why Periphery were able to take that map down, and why we're going into the third map as a series tied 1-1. So it's still anybody's series.
I'm gonna try this out. Throw up some match clips. as we watch replays from our first match, map 1 on ship, and replays from map 2. We are going to go to a brief break here, and when we come back, it's going to be map 3, the series decider for the first week. After that, another game. So plenty of breachers ahead of us. Don't go anywhere. More in just a moment.
see Skyscraper, but I love Hideout. It's one of my favorites, you know. And we're seeing Periphery starting out on the defense. And unfortunately, maybe some of this disconnect issues right out of the gate. I don't know if we started a little prematurely.
Oh my goodness.
Hopefully they managed to get this sorted before we get going here. But either way, starting out on the defense here, Bandit going to be on the attack. It has been so back and forth. Interesting little fun fact, a round tie here on this map would go bring the series to Periphery because they would win on rounds. They won 7-4 while Bandit won map 1 7-5. And a quick play onto the A bomb site as they get a hatch and a wall blown at the same time. Rise dropping in. Glitched robot there to support. The crossfires come through, and it's just Wando and Jai Guy on defense trying to retake this bomb site. And Wando getting surrounded there as Elevate with a nice maneuver through the connector, leaving just Jai Guy by his lonesome. Finds a nice headshot onto Rise, but it's going to have to be a 1 versus 5 ace clutch. And it looks like he's going upstairs to maybe try to hit a reverse hatch drop. And he's got a Sauceman up here. If he checks this corner where Sauceman is playing, he gets a kill. He might have enough time to make a quick drop play. It's going to have to be a 1v5 ace clutch. Get the replay button ready just in case. He finds the first one. Time is short. Is he going to drop the hatch or is he going to vault over the railing? It's like he can't decide himself. Too many choices, and he might not have the time. He might perhaps just be saving. He does have a healing syringe in hand, so that's a good bit of util to bring into the next round. Normally saving on a pistol doesn't have much value, but those stims are expensive.
It's the final map. Every dollar matters here if you're looking to win your first game of season 1. You know, like, there's prizing on the line. You want to start strong. There's all this extra little bit of pressure that's in the back of these players' mind. I want cash, gun skin. You know, and like, how do they process that? That's a question we'll be asking all season long about these top teams, because it's going to be something that's there, lurking in the back of their mind as the ultimate goal, you know, to be that top 8 in your regular season ladder so you can play in the postseason, so you can play for a chance at that prize pool. So every game matters and every dollar matters, so I get the pistol save, you know, but to the point, it goes to show you that both of these teams, they're taking things very seriously. They don't even want to give their opponent an extra 150 in cash for the kill.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, in these type of tight esports, every little millisecond, every dollar does count. And it's good to see them fighting tooth and nail to the very end. Going into the second round, we see a pretty confident Bandit picking up 3 Vezins going into this round. We got a top 4 bomb site. They're very confident they're going to take this round. They're going to take it cleanly, and so far they're doing just that, as Jai Guy going to be the first one to fall, entering on the wrong side of that door blocker. The drone coming through here, getting quickly taken out, but it finds Wando, and the nade comes through, and Wando could be stuck, and he is. What a perfectly placed nade. And yeah, just 3 great kills. Flare actually did manage to die somewhere from the back end, but a 2 versus 4, pistols in hand. Bandit on a roll here for Hideout.
Very solid entry there, and now we're down to the lurker on on the middle floor here, trying to rotate around, and the lurker on bottom floor with LFT here. And how do they pinch together? Elevate goes down. They don't have the support from Glitched until it's a little too late. A kill comes in on the bottom floor from LFT, and it's suddenly a 1v2. Not so out of reach here for the Periphery defense, but time is ticking with that plant already down.
And unfortunately for LFT, no Vezin dropped on the ground where he got that kill, and he is going to get taken out. Coming up that staircase. Solid attempt, though. I mean, for a second round, they bought 3 Vezins, and they only have 2 left alive, so they did lose one of those rifles. But look at, having gotten the EMP planted in both rounds, look at how much money Bandit has stocked up. There's, you know, you'd normally think that they lost one of those rifles, that they would only have 4 rifles going in this round, but they have more than enough money to buy all rifles, all the utility. Very strong lead for Bandit here on the attacking side of Hideout. But Hideout, one of those slightly attacking's favored maps, I would say. It's a little more even, kind of like Factory. It's not as far off as we've seen Ship might be, a little bit even more attacker sided. But Periphery, here we go again. 3 Vezins on the board. I don't know. It seems to be just, they're very comfortable doing that. And also another change. Look at this, no stanky. I didn't notice this. The top frag for Periphery is not in the server right now. Maybe he was having some of those connection issues that we've been dealing with. Unfortunate for them, but they are going to have to press on with the roster. They have 3 Vezins in hand. This is going to be an important round for them. If they can make this happen, it's huge. But if not, they're going to be stuck force buying for the next few rounds.
Whew. The all-important round of 3. I guess we've still seen good results coming out of the later rounds from defensive teams that do lose. As a big offensive push comes in, they take full control of B site with almost no resistance, and not until Jai Guy finds a kill and is quickly refragged that there's any sort of action coming in from Periphery. LFT is just on the other side of the wall. They'll have to make their way in through the big doorway and challenge what is several potential positions, and Sauceman's tucked into a tight corner. The ping is there, so LFT should know Sauceman's position, but EMP's down, and they're just defending now with 4 left alive against the 2 that have to retake.
Yeah, I mean, Sauceman is like one side of a very complex Rubik's Cube that you have to solve in order to break this post plant setup from Bandit. He manages to get this kill. Is he going to check the deep corner? He doesn't. See there? Now 1v4. ZK bombs planted for the outside. Doesn't even manage to refrag on Sauceman, and he is just going to back up. Realizes there's no chance. With the powerful positions they're playing on the outside, flare tucked into the corner, Rise on the upstairs. There's just literally no chance of him managing to kill all 4 members and get the defuse. So he is going to bring that rifle into the next round. So we may see, I mean, I think we're going to have to see another force buy from Periphery with another 3 Vezins. Looking at the money, they're only going to be able to afford 3 at most. It's going to be tough. It'll be tough for them to get back into this map now. They're on the back foot to start things off. But we saw a similar setup on Factory, I think, and they were able to string a couple rounds together, and then you get 5 Vezins strong and put 3 on the board. So if they can win this round with 3 Vezins, they'll be proving me wrong, showing that a force buy strategy perhaps a lot more viable than I'm giving it credit.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it has paid off, and in particular, we've seen standout shooters kind of show up. You look at the scoreboard, we even have some of them now with you know, Glitched and Rise catching 4 apiece on their team. That's kind of been a trend where these top shooters do connect, and they do consistently connect. So if we can get guns into the right hands on Periphery's side, then it does mean that, you know, the unoptimal 3 rifle buy still could result in some success. Jai Guy is out here aggressive with 1 of those rifles, and they may very well run into a hatch play if they're fortunate enough. They try to get the drone down, and I don't believe they do, and so Glitched Robot will gather information about the outside of A site. Nothing's here to defend from it, and the only thing really that's deterring them is a door blocker.
Oh, LFT with a nice flank there, managing to find a pick onto Flare and gets away with his life, barely surviving with 5 points of health. Still has not recovered. That rifle is going to be unrecoverable, but that's a huge, as Jai Guy finds Guy's optimal as well. That's a huge 2 opening picks here for this force buy round. Absolutely massive that LFT is able to come in with that much value off of just a Spectral in hand. And he seems to manage to, yeah, he gets ZK, backs up, finds a stim. Connects to LFT with the stim as well, so that's going to heal him up. Now they are still 5 players strong versus 3 attackers from Team Bandit.
Reconnecting back over to B side as Glitched Robot scoops up 1. They've opened up A. Sauceman finds the long range pick onto King as they have the Overwatch just over the top of that little head peak there. They also have their camo on, so they're really limiting their exposure. Elevate shuts down LFT using camo themselves. There's a good pickup from Jai Guy, tucked into the tight corner. As Glitched Robot has a slice of health, they have to dodge the nade, and they do. Jai Guy pushes in aggressively, catches 1. Sauceman tries to fend it off and can't.
What a huge round from Jai Guy there. That was massive. Defending that A bomb site to a T, tucked into that powerful position. This is why last round we saw Bandit put that nade, and it cleared I believe it was Wando out of that spot. It's such a powerful spot. If you can't get an nade in there, they're able to put up so much counter pressure on the A bomb site. The counter nade of his own, I don't know how Glitched Robot didn't die to that nade. He went from like 7 points of health down to 2 points of health, just barely surviving there. And yeah, we saw a very strong hold. I mean, things were looking rough. They had the numbers, and then Bandit with the lobby positioning managed to get a lot of kills towards the A. They took out LFT on his second attempt at a flank. But the 2 versus 3 came in clutch. Jai Guy, definitely huge value there. And that puts their first round on the board. So now Periphery, they got a round on the board. The force buy paid off. They have 5 Vezins in hand. They got a full buy of rifles and utility and a little bit of money in the bank. And it is now Bandit. A little bit on the back foot momentum-wise. They still got plenty of money. They got all the utility they want as well. So we're going to see our first real, true, full buy round coming here into round number 5. Let's see who can come out on top of this one. Periphery looking to tighten things up, but GK getting picked up by Glitched at the beginning is not a good start.
Or is it for Bandit, as they finally do get back into the swing of things? An early pick starts off their offensive round, and they want to continue this offensive domination. Because, I mean, don't we see a little bit more of a offensive preference when we do look at a map like this, like Hideout? I feel like I tend to see more offensive round wins than not.
Yeah, I agree. Slightly attacker-sided, not as much as
huge.
Perhaps
60-40,
not as much as perhaps
say,
Ship.
maybe.
Theoretically, we're theory crafting a Ship here, but
Yeah.
slightly attacker-sided, being that it's a small map. LFT managing to answer back through that window, finds a headshot onto Flare, and then escapes back around to the A-bomb side. I really like that poke and dive, but Jai Guy, a little bit too aggressive through that doorway, is going to get punished by Rise Optimal. So still maintaining the man advantage, not by much. LFT looking to re-aggress again.
An interesting adjustment and focus over onto the A site here, as we do see King rotating back around to the duo, road pushing in towards B. We've seen a little bit more preference towards pushing towards A, as we do now actually see a rotation over towards the A site. This Bandit team may be practicing pressuring A more, because frankly we almost never see A site pushes, or at least very rarely saw them last season or in the preseason.
Yeah, and I think, and it's working out really well, this rotation over towards A. They've gotten the bomb planner, they got the 2 opening picks, and King just kind of tucked into this B bomb site now in a 1 versus 3. It's in a really tough spot. I think, ooh, nice first opening shot there in the 1v3. Finds the first, 2 remaining, time winding down with the EMP planted. Yeah, I think because once you get control of the garage side, it shuts down pretty much any chance of a flank or a rotation for the defenders, because they can't go outside the map, obviously, and they've pretty much got one spot that they can rotate through. And if you watch that one spot, you can watch all the flanks with just one player. Oh, he's gonna get a tap on the bomb here, trying to bait out some aggression. Oh, and they're defending from the staircase. What a rat spot from Sauceman. Very calculated. You know, they've worked that. That plant was very deliberate.
Yep.
Just a perfect pixel peek from the staircase. Very well thought out. And that is Bandit once again in the driver's seat and putting Periphery on the back foot, up 4-1, and not enough money for a full buy again going into the last round.
We are going into a second game this afternoon. It is Clip That versus Perseverance Esports. Been highly voted on by the community as a match that folks want to tune into. 25 community votes. Lots of votes into Perseverance Esports. Both teams new to the league, but maybe not so new, with players on those teams. Either way, we're hopping into that matchup to wrap up the night, which technically starts in 8 minutes. But we're going to obviously finish the best of 3 here, and then probably jump into maybe rounds 2 or 3 of that second set, that doubleheader this afternoon that we have so generously chosen. Me and Phil going the distance at this rate for game number 2. But hey, I honestly couldn't be happier. I have been so eager to get into casting, and the fact that I get 2 games back to back, I couldn't. We're in good shape for week 1, season 1 right now, Phil. This is nothing but good quality breachers back and forth, and now Bandit looking to get their 5th point, the last point before we swap sides. They already got the first kill. There's a nice refrag, but not enough.
Yeah, bullets flying back and forth once again, choosing to pressure, and they're going for the same plant. Wando, though, this time in position to deny, finds the first kill. Does manage, Glitch Robot has to stop planting now, and they're in a 2 versus 3. This hold is working out a lot better. ZK picks up Flare in the storage room as well. It's just Glitched Robot. I don't know if Wando realized that he was the one that was initially planting. He must know, because the guy that he killed was not on the MP. So they perhaps know that he's tucked into this corner, which makes it even more difficult as the 3 remaining members of Periphery kind of come crashing down. Wando's gonna peek around the corner, gets his head peeled off. Glitch finds the first one. King only has a sheriff in hand. Taurus, excuse me. Hand cannon.
Oh, there's
ZK. It's gonna have to be the Taurus. He does it with the Taurus. Manages to make it work. Almost a 1v3 from Glitch Robot. But Periphery putting their second on the board. Now going into the second half, they've got a little bit more slack.
Solid job from the Periphery team. This is really what they needed to, like you said, sort of cushion the blow of these early rounds won by Bandit. Now, like we swap sides, the defense comes in. We're on the pistol rounds. Economy's back to normal, and it's almost a dead even, almost 3-3. You know, we'll have to see how these first 2 pistol rounds go, because that'll obviously set the tone. But there's a real chance that we are 4-4 in round 9 with only with 4 rounds left. I mean, this thing, we've gone. What a start to the season. I keep saying it, but hey, it really has been, and these 2 teams definitely giving us a show. Happy to be tuning in, and happy for the folks that are tuning in. We're even seeing some celebrations from Glitch. I actually don't think those were celebrations. Those were hand signals to Flare to move your body over towards the garage position where they've tucked in.
Yeah, I am on the edge of my seat here. This one definitely could go either way. We've seen it time and time again. A 4-2 lead just diminishes. You lose the pistol, and all of a sudden it's tied 4-4 going into the first gun round here. Of course, Bandit are looking to go against the mold on that one. They want to put some rounds on the board here. They want to take this pistol with the middle bomb point. It looks like we are going to see that more standard garage play you were talking about, as ZK finds the first pick onto Optimal. And Sauceman also going down, stuck in that corner. I don't know if they realize that Flare is here, but he's going to have to come in absolutely huge. Glitch Robot there to back him up in the front door. Gets to find the first one. Now they know he's here. So 3v3, but ZK finds Elevate. Whoa, the frags are flying back and forth. Oh, it's amazing coordination from Periphery. You gotta give shout out to them, and they finally managed to get control of this garage side off of the team play with the flashbang and the Wando pushing. Low points of health, but he was able to make it work, and now it's all down to Glitch. He doesn't get past the first guy. Wando throwing his arms up in celebration. That is 3-4, and I think we may see it. They take the next round. We're tied 4-4, just like you predicted.
We are en route at this rate. Periphery certainly have shown that they can ride the momentum like we saw in map 2. Once they started to get in control, they kept control. This is really another test for Bandit. They showed up in map 1 on ship, but how did things go on map 3, on a map that both of these teams have played so much leading up to this point? It's another, I mean, we've been down here like 4 or 5 times already, Phil. If anything, we just keep coming back to this basement gym objective. And what's the change? What are Bandit gonna do differently here to try and get this one? That is the question. Glitch Robot keeping their arm loose and their legs warm as they vault consistently over that little edge there to keep themselves just active and ready. With time ticking down, we get into round number 8, that decider if we are going to go all tied up into that full buy round or not.
A bit of an interesting different take. Periphery now on the attacking side, it looks like they're going to go through the wine cellar side, maybe a hit towards A. I mean, you always have the opportunity to take that back hall control and end up colliding into the B bomb side anyway, but choosing not to breach in through the gym wall and the storage side of the map initially. They're gonna Jai Guy's already worked his way down the staircase. They're foaming up the wall onto A. ZK manages to get a pick on a Sauceman through the window, so that's man advantage. And wine cellar play a little bit. I like this change of pace, but Elevate with the huge 2-piece with the pistol is looking to recover one of those Vezins. Has he managed to get it and get out? I don't think he picked one up yet. He's still trying to pick one up. And they're giving it to him. So he does have a Vezin in hand. That is a massive play from Elevate now. Looking to fight Bandit's way back into this round. He finds his third on the round. Finally brought down from LFT. And it's down to a 2 versus 1.
Glitched Robot and Rise Optimal trying to get this team up to 5. And it's up to LFT to tie things up here from round 8. 5 and 6 KD so far on the afternoon. It definitely has connected a couple of times in this round. Will they be able to find the 1-2 punch? They're taking the right approach. Glitched is tucked in tight, and LFT stays silent. So does Glitch. No one is ready to spring their traps. They think that dead body was a player, and the double team here on the front side from Glitched and Optimal is well done. Very nice teamwork there to hold things down. Bandit go up 5-3.
So unfortunately, you can feel the tension in the air with that one as the dead body leaning against the wall spooks LFT.
I mean,
forces him to give away his position, and he gets a double swung on. I mean, you can tell he was dialed in and ready to peel off the first head he saw. Mm-hmm. I think that shook him up a little bit.
That was, I mean, that body too was positioned almost, you know, like it had fallen in like still almost sort of crouched animation, you know, so it even looked a little bit like it was a player tucked into the corner. So I don't even blame them for taking those shots. When I turned the camera to see, I was like, oh, I could have, yeah, of course, you know, that you would snap to that, but it completely gives away the position. It enables the defense to do what they did, and who knows what would have been, but a solid hold from Bandit, and they are 2 away from taking this series. Periphery need to just...
Oh no! Are we muted? Check if we're muted.
Not.
Oh, okay.
I fixed that a long time ago. That's old.
Okay,
that's an old message.
I'm looking through the chat. Shout outs to everybody coming into the chat, by the way. Got Mr. Zach and Budgie and all you guys. Appreciate that. I was just trying to get caught up a little bit. Made me have a panic attack, and I shot at the dead body that time. Sauceman opening things up with the shot onto Wando. And that is man advantage on this. Once again, we have the force spy coming out. I think Wando did not have a rifle. DK going to try and force the issue into the laundry side. And this is looking real tough. Bandit have all the guns, all the weaponry. Periphery are stuck now force spying for probably the rest of the game. They're going to have to make a huge play happen probably here this round. They do only need 3 more rounds. We did say that all they need to do is tie this map and they will win by the round count. But Bandit is poised. They need only 2 more rounds, and they seal the entire series off, close the map out, and it's going to be tough. If they can't make something happen in this round, they're going to be backs right against the wall. That's going to be series point for Bandit. And with 1 gun in the hands of Jai Guy and King with nothing but a Taurus, things aren't looking too good for Periphery right now.
What an interesting garage defense. The double door blocker with the static emitter underneath the car to make it really hard to get rid of. And ultimately forcing the long rotation around the car. You can't really jump off from your typical bench position and run right into the action. And you're worried about the threat of a trap being sprung on you at any moment through any one of these 2 door blockers. It's I feel like I haven't seen door blockers deployed here very often, at least, and maybe they just get eliminated so quick because of pre-nades and whatnot. But either way, an interesting defensive setup from Bandit, and it's maybe made the Periphery duo kind of rotate off and rotate all the way around to A site. They're trying to fake out with that B detonation.
Yeah, an interesting idea here to rotate around. It looks like there haven't been too many. Nobody's really picked up on the audio cues just yet. But with 44 seconds left on the clock, they're going to have to make a move onto A. That drop sound right there from Kings probably was heard from Flare. So the jig is up. Flare's looking the right way now. He finds some damage on a Jai Guy through the wall. The pressure, it's it. They got to make their move. 30 seconds left. He's going to try and squeeze the plant out. King, as Jai Guy's there to defend.
He can't get the hand on the knob. They pop out to find 1 kill. Another on the back end. It's a 1v2 now for King. They don't have a health syringe. They're low on health, and as time ticks down, they feel the pressure. They can't decide. Should they defuse? Should they kill? And ultimately, plant. Should they kill? And ultimately, it goes into Bandit's hands. 1 round away from taking the series, and the worst has occurred. A disconnect on what is series point for the Bandit squad, and at this stage, I think that's series. Even if they tie, it's Bandit's set. So the series locked in now with Bandit taking that last round.
Yeah, Bandit really put on a good show there of why teams tend to favor taking that garage side control. You saw Periphery, they rotated all the way around. They took the B, and then Bandit with control of that much more map space. They had pinching opportunities. You got pressure in from both sides of the connector. You can wrap all the way around through the living room like Elevate did there to finish out the round. And there's also ideas of pushing from the top floor and coming around the balcony behind them, or even from the bottom floor and up the wine cellar staircase. There's so many more flanking map control opportunities with only 2 people left alive. Making that non-garage side bomb site work is very difficult. But backs against the wall, they're gonna have to make something happen. King with a shotgun manages to find a counter kill onto Flare. And ZK, looks like they had a couple of shotguns this round, and they're gonna be able to recover a rifle off of that. 2 versus 3. They got to make this happen right here, right now. So like we said, series point. Sauceman manages to find Wando. It's all down to ZK. Shotgun in hand, running back and forth, nowhere to go. And Sauceman is going to shut things down. And that puts Bandit as the winners of our first broadcasted. How did you say it? First broadcasted match, VRML Season 1. I mean, what a show. It went all the distance. We got all the way to map 3. Periphery trying to fight back. Fortunately, not able to make it happen, but really shout out to performance. I gotta wonder what happened with, Stanky was such a strong performer on Team Periphery, and then he just wasn't able to play in that last map. I'm not sure if it was a connection issue or what went on there.
Choice. Yeah. Who knows, but either way, a solid bit of work from both teams. Bandit take the win. We have to try and prep and jump right in to our next game, which is going to be, I just said it out loud, Clip That versus Perseverance Esports. So there's 3 more maps potentially coming up in just a couple of minutes. We're going to run the highlights from the matchup here and then likely come right into the game of Clip That versus Perseverance Esports. Don't go anywhere. A shout out to everyone tuning in. Buy the new merch on Exclaim. You can find the link in the Discord. All that info is on VRML.com and has been linked in chat periodically. We're going to be right back with more Breachers action. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. We are here for our second matchup of the doubleheader this afternoon. It is Clip That versus Perseverance Esports, a matchup that, if you do not know, was highly voted on the website. If you're new to the VRML, on the website, you can see all of the matches that are going to be broadcasted live or, in general, played over the course of a week. You can vote on who you think will win or lose every single game that's played, and you can vote on what games you want to see broadcast live on this stream. This was one of, if not the top voted match of the week, and so we're super excited to get in here, give a match the community wants to see, and I do see a bunch of people hanging out, waiting around for the start of this series. What's the hype, Phil? Is it the players on the rosters? You know, is he as busy, or is it the Perseverance Esports brand? You know, or maybe a little bit of combination of both. Maybe it's the unknown. I'm not sure, but I'm curious what we're gonna get here this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I don't recognize many of the names on either of these rosters, so perhaps just one of those cases of, you know, up and coming teams. I mean, one of the teams' name is Clip That, and they, you know, got to broadcast it for them to clip it. Maybe it's something to do with, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine there.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see, as we do have both teams in lobby ready to go. I've given the splurge, the indicator, to start. And so we should be diving into round one, which looks like it's going to be on Hideout. We're not necessarily jumping into the ship to kick things off, but it's on the on that list of potential maps. And we're very much excited to see how everything gets played out here over the course of Season 1, with that ship map being added in to be one of 4 map picks now as an option. Looks like both teams are hyping themselves up before the round starts, and Hideout kicks off with round 1. The, oh gosh, Clip That team on defense, and the Perseverance Esports on the attack to get things rolling.
I mean, this is, I like this transition. We go from Hideout right into Hideout. We were comfortable with this map. Got seen how Bandit and Periphery played on here, 2 of our more veteran teams.
Yep.
So now we can kind of easily showcase the difference in play styles. Perhaps some of these teams are a little bit newer, and you might see how the map will play out a little bit differently, and how give you a little bit more appreciation for how much coordination we were really seeing in that first matchup. I mean, that was an awesome match to behold. But hopefully this one will be just as back and forth. I know it's been a long day, but I'm here to go to the distance. I want to see another almost 32 round matches. 36 rounds. 36. Yeah. We did this math already. Let me write this down.
35 is what we're coming up on at this, or 34 maybe is the potential. But we'll have to see, as we do see a coordinated entry in, an early kill on to Decipher, and the breach set up onto B side out the gate by this Perseverance Esports team. They're coming in focused, but the defense is here to fight. 1 kill connects over the top. SSJ Rose finds 2, actually, so it's a 3v3 just like that in a flash, with Yogurt trying to flank, pushing in on PX1375, and Yogurt will win the fight with the Taurus. Not the double kill, though, as Annie catches that last kill. It's a 2v2, make it a 1v2, make it a 1v1.
Annie versus Cosmic. What an amazing start to get things kicked off, and it's Annie with the attack. Managed to shut things down. And yeah, eating my words immediately. We're talking about how well coordinated the last 2 teams were, and Perseverance really, with a very quick attack into the bedroom, quickly blew a hole onto that A bomb site. If it wasn't for SSJ Rose there to kind of slow things down, we were in for a really quick round 1, and things ended up going right down to the wire there. Really great back and forth action to kick things off.
No kidding. I'm not going to jinx anything just yet, but that's always an indicator to a good start of a good series, of a good even back and forth, which would be kind of wild for, you know, our second game of 2 brand new teams, for it to be such a good back and forth. Again, Phil, maybe that's why we have these voting things. That's why we trust in the community sometimes, okay? Because you know better than us in some of these cases, and I saw the community needed this one, and Phil was like, let's do the doubleheader, and I said, let's do it. So far, worth it, Phil, at least for this round. We'll see if we can get a couple more of these, and then we're off to the races.
Trust in the people. Now look at this. We're seeing already some very interesting decisions. First of all, Perseverance, after winning, have bought into 4 Vezins. That is almost a full rifle buy for the team, which is just very confident that they're going to win this round. And look at this on defense. Decipher Omen bought a Viper. Not a gun that we see very often, but unfortunately with that Viper, he's going to get caught out by Baker with the Spectral on the balcony. And that is the one SMG down. So unfortunately, things not looking good for Clip That round number 2.
A little bit of a partial buy. We've seen the RCPs do well in some cases, especially at the mid-tier ranks, you know, the bronze, silver area. The RCP is still a very effective tool when you're going up against pistols or even folks that are still getting used to the rifles. And so, not a bad buy at this stage, but it does end up going down early and right into the hands of their opponent, which is not ideal. As now the push coming in, Annie finds one over the top, and this is looking like Perseverance in control of A site. And the retake is what has to come through. Yogurt has to fly out, and they catch one with the Taurus, a beautiful tap to the head to pick up a rifle kill. That's beneficial, and Izzy still holding B site. Wow, I thought they had disconnected because they were so diligently locked in to their angle as Yogurt had just picked up that kill. Even with EMP plant down, they haven't rotated over to A, but has it been planted fully?
It has, yeah. EMP is taken away, so pressure on to Clip That. Make something happen here. Yogurt manages to get his hands on a Vezin there, but goes creeping around the sky. Is going to get a free kill there as Yogurt looking the wrong way. Now Izzy with the Spectral. Not going to find much ground there as we go into our 3rd round. Perseverance so far. Persevering through their 2nd round. Up 2-0 here on Hideout. And the money not looking good for a full buy. And immediately we were just talking about the RCPs. We're going to see 2 RCP buys. Kick things off. And a Cadillo. 1 Vezin. And I believe Izzy Busy is probably going to buy into another Vezin. If I had to guess. Wrong. We don't know this team. I could be wrong. Been wrong before. It was a Tuesday. Never forget.
Yeah, the double RCP buy, though, like I said, it's not the worst thing. The Cadillo is a little bit of a questionable choice, but hey, those one taps can pay off, and so we'll have to see if they can connect. Kitting it out is another question, but again, Decipher, you're going to see if they can do some magic with that single, what is the semi-automatic rifle there.
Not sure that they're having a standoff on the defense, and Izzy is forgetting to buy a gun. He's just holding on to Jesper. Oh, he panics and buys. Okay, he gets a Spectral at least at the last second, so he's got something to work with. But for a full buy round here, forcing into this round to could have had an extra Vezin on the board. I'm gonna have to question that. But Cosmic making the RCP work, gets a good trade kill onto Baker there. We're seeing this play towards the back hall. Looks like Perseverance wanna punch some holes towards this B bomb site. Cosmic gets aggressive once again and finds a 2nd on the round before finally going down. Splurge.
Yeah, they're in control. They're set up for the push in. B site's open with the breach now. As Ghost and Splurge looking to push in. And yeah, you can just tell the even defensive sort of setup and economic choices. Those are things you really don't think a ton about when you're just starting to learn the game, right? But it's stuff that at a high level we pay close attention to, and we're seeing choices that are definitely indicators of teams still trying to figure out the economy. Jay Rose is definitely not figuring out that rifle. They're familiar with it as they pick up a triple, and Clip That needs to clip that because
Absolutely.
they are on the board.
I mean, very similar-esque to the way the pistol round went, where that initial attack was coming through and they blew the hole in that wall. SSJ from the same position with on the metal platform was able to find a nice double piece with the Spectral, and there he manages to turn and Colat get a nice double kill to finish off a 3K to save the round for his team. So huge map so far. SSJ Rose coming in clutch, and it gives them their first round on the board, now 2-1, and that gives them a little bit more money to work with too. So we see 3 Vezins, a Cadillo, and an Oral buy on the hands of Cosmic. Still some unorthodox buys, but Perseverance on the attacking side able to buy pretty well themselves. They got 4 Vezins on the board. So we're going to see another full gun round here. Yeah, to round number 4.
For those that maybe don't know, the Vezin is your standard meta rifle. For all intents and purposes, it's the only rifle that teams at gold and above buy into when they spend money really anywhere. It's either that or pistols is sort of the meta gospel for a lot of the top tier teams, as we do see some early trades kicking things off in that basement area. But you know, for us as casters, it's always interesting to see a different choice other than the Vezin. So even an RCP buy, a Cadillo buy, those are all pretty off-meta choices when it comes to spending your dollar to the most effective point that you can.
Almost a team kill with the nade there, but just barely picking it up in time before it went off. They're going to blow that door blocker out of the way. It looks like they've shifted their ID over towards A, but SSJ Rose having a huge round, picks up his third on the round as Izzy Busy there to kill Splurge, pushing into the A bomb site. Now it's just PX 1375, not to be confused with PX 1374, little brother. 1v3 situation, not a lot of space to work with him. He's got plenty of time, but the EMP is down on the A bomb side. The pings have come out. The rotations are coming in. All three Clip That members are here to defend. It is going to be very difficult for PX to make something happen here.
Yeah.
Round number 3, and we're looking at a tie 2-2.
Yeah, there is no really easy route here for PX, but at least they have the rifle in hand. If there's ever to be a weapon that you want, it's that Vezin. If you're going to challenge a 1v3, it's the gun that can do it, but you are going up against 3 other Vezins, all pointed at the same entry point. I mean, these walls can be breached, guys. You know, J Rose could easily be breached open, so could Izzy, but they're focused in on the doorways. Maybe they are just predicting no breaching foam here, or there've already been enough breaches that they know the investment isn't there. Either way, they are comfortably holding A site, like you said. And PX, what's the decision? 56 seconds left, maybe save? It would be an interesting choice to see at this level. I don't even think that most teams really understand the value of saving when they're new to the league.
Yeah, very good. So, I mean, for Perseverance, we've seen perhaps they've been following the meta a little bit more closely. We haven't seen much off-meta buys on their side just yet, and they're here in the 1v3. I mean, even following the meta and knowing that saving here gives you more value than throwing your life away into a 1v3 is one thing, but to actually have the wherewithal when you're in the game to save the gun, you know, to make the decision and not get caught up just playing the game and pushing for kills is a whole nother thing. So really a good sign here for Perseverance, even though they're going to go the game's going to be tied up 2-2, but I like what I'm seeing so far strategically from this attacking squad.
Clip that, get another one on the board, and we're in for another good series, Phil. It's just a different skill set, a different level of understanding of the game, but so far evenly matched as these two squads battle it out, and we should see, well, the full buys coming through for Clip That off of 2-round wins. They have the economy to do it, and now we're seeing meta buys coming in from that team. Everyone, when they have the money, goes into the Vezin. So maybe just some different economic choices coming in at the end of the day, Phil. Some teams experimenting. It's week 1. We very well could be seeing some new things that we are not used to. The meta may have shifted with those economic changes. Who knows? But either way, these two teams focused and battling, and a little bit of a celebratory handshake. I'm not sure what that was. A hoorah from the squad of Clip That as they take 2 and spread out, set up on defense. Heavy garage stack here. 4 players inside garage to defend.
Interesting choice. I definitely haven't seen a defensive setup like this. Quickly rotating off SSJ and Yogurt, and Decipher also trying to get up the stairs, just barely. The timing, Splurge sneaks in behind him, and very wise for him to be aware that Annie was outside, but Annie winning that fight with the oral, and look at the kills come in. Perseverance fight back immediately, and now it's a 4 versus 2. It's just Izzy Busy tucked into the B and Yogurt on A to defend. And it's cool to see as well, for those of you who are kind of newer and enjoy, maybe perhaps you like playing breachers, but watching this intense competitive action at the high level can be a little bit daunting and intimidating. When you see, it's another great thing about VRML. You know, even if you're not at the top of the tier chain, Izzy Busy finds 2 kills and brings it down to a 2v1. I'll get back to my point in a second. It's just actually Annie Pie YouTube all by herself. 1 versus 2 now, and things have turned once again. This round is back and forth. Spots is ahead of Izzy though behind the counter. Now it's a 1 versus 1, but Yogurt has the timing rotating in. He heard the footstep, I believe. They did, and they are gonna clutch up, and he puts Perseverance up 3-2. Back to my original point, don't be intimidated. If you see some of these really good players, VRML is still a great opportunity for players of all skill level to jump in, get into a little bit more of a competitive environment. But you know, even if you're not quite on that master tier level, you'll still find competitive matches with teams closer to your skill level. So you can have that back and forth action, the perfect learning environment for somebody trying to play a little bit more breachers at maybe a little bit higher of a level, you know? Even if you're just doing it for fun, hop on to vrmasterleague.com and check out what the league has to offer for you.
Yeah, tons of new teams recruiting, a prize pool of $8,500 in cash and hardware on the line coming in from our sponsors that include ProTube VR, who offer fantastic stocks like this that helps stabilize your aim in game. The ProTube MagTube, one of my favorites. You can use code ILOVEVRML to get a discount right now on checkout. Please do that if you do decide to pick up a ProTube. We appreciate that support. Also, obviously, HyperX coming in with the Quadcast S, Cloud 2s, and a variety of other products that we're happy to have as a sponsor. And obviously, Triangle Factory giving us this wonderful game feel to tune into, a beautiful spectator client, and ultimately 2 great games so far for Season 1, Week 1.
It is shaping up to be a good one. Already neck and neck here going into the last round of the first half. We're actually already 30 seconds into this round. I didn't even realize because the attackers are taking their time. They've worked into the wine cellar side of the map, but there's nobody here to defend, and it looks like they're going to be pinching in towards the back call. The Cypher Omen in a very unique position on this staircase. And SSJ Rose just continuing her tear of dominance. 10 kills on the server already and opening up the first 2 for this round. And we're in the back halls as we see Cypher Omen choosing to get aggressive at perhaps the perfect time, but not quite. Annie manages to hit the reactive snapshot. I think Annie might only had 1 hand on their gun at that moment. There's SSJ.
Oh my, there's 4 on the round for them. They're looking for the full ace. Ghost is here on the corner. Can they find it? They do.
There you go. Clip that one, SSJ. Add that to your add that to your clips, you know. And absolutely brutal. All 5 kills. Put that into the
scrapbook.
What's the yeah. Get that one in there. Clip that needs to get a little I wonder if they have their own YouTube channel. I mean, the team's name is Clip That. They got to have a collection of clips somewhere, right?
SSJ Rose dancing, the rest of the team celebrating. They're happy that they managed to clutch up that last round before the swap, and now they go on the attack. Even a little kiss coming in. You love to see it. You know, that's just good quality teamwork right there. As Clip That seemingly in control. Spirits are high, and they're ready to go for the pistol round in round 7.
So they did manage to fully tie things back up 3-3. Fully even game going into the second half, and now we've got Perseverance on the defense. Middle floor bomb spawn, so we'll see. We'll see if Clip That choose to take control of the garage. It looks like they're kind of spread out. Looks like perhaps they want to work get some opening picks before they work their way in. As I say that, Cypher Omen immediately charges in to the bedroom side, quickly dropped by Baker, not managing to find the shot with that Taurus. And that's a good start here for Perseverance.
Is indeed. Yogurt's at the window, ready to fight back if Baker does want to spring out the window and get a little bit over aggressive. But they'll stay tucked in and defending while the rest of the team rotates over towards that garage side, seemingly getting ready to make their entryway in from there. They're going to have to watch out from the stair rotation because that's where Annie is. And Annie taking some shots downrange towards Cosmic, but they don't connect. Cosmic full health to be able to connect back with their team, but what is the plan? It seems like, at least in this pistol round, like you said, they're just kind of on the hunt for a pick and playing things safe.
And in true clip that fashion, you actually have 3 members here choosing to buy up into the Taurus, going for those absolute clips. You know, they kind of style on the opponents there, I think, with the Taurus one taps. A very high risk, high reward weapon. If you don't hit the initial shots, fire rate is very slow. So, but if you do, I mean, poof, 5 one taps in 1 round. That's the ideal pistol ace, I would have to say. But 4 versus 5 now. Yogurt also getting shredded down. This is one disadvantage to everybody upgrading their pistols, is nobody can afford a healing syringe, as Baker picks up his 2nd of the round.
Make it the 3rd. They catch the headshots on to Izzy. Yogurt's going to push up towards Splurge. Splurge finds that kill, and suddenly it's a 1v5. The pistol round for Clip that goes horribly wrong, and if they don't find a kill, it's going to mean that there could be 4 rifles coming out next round for the likes of Perseverance on their defensive set. They need at least 1 or 2 here. There's 1, there's 2. Maybe 3 or 4 is what they need next, as SSJ, the player that's been connecting big, connects big with 2 pistol headshots.
Yeah, still, I mean, that's the first dent you need to get back in this round, but with no points of health remaining and no healing syringes on the team, the 1v5 ace clutch is going to be tough. It would be a great way to follow up the ace from the last round from SSJ Rose, but it will be Perseverance.
Yep.
Let's take round number 1 of the second half, going up 4-3 now, and we'll see if you were right about the Vezin buys. Baker, actually, we could see 5 Vezins here. Baker looks like he's going to buy an Oral. We might see just that. It looks like PX. 1 for an Omen. All right, so Perseverance giving us our first taste of an off-meta buy. This is only slightly off-meta. A lot of teams actually I've seen, especially in the EU. Yeah, they went with the Vezin. I've seen some teams in the EU, after winning pistol, choosing to buy up into only Omens. Gives you that 2nd round advantage, and then you can still buy Vezins on the 3rd round. That's a strategy to think about, but I think you don't want the whole team to be on board with that idea. He is going to switch over to the Vezin. But yeah, like you said, 4 rifles on the server there for Perseverance. This is going to be a very difficult 2nd round, but every kill that Clip that can get here could be a more decent dent into the economy of Perseverance, because they've invested so heavily into this 2nd round.
Some warm-up stretches coming in from the Clip that offense as there is set up outside, and it doesn't look like they stretched their head as Baker finds 1 and then goes down themselves. They open up the garage entry point, which means they can now breach the hatch and push down into the B basement. That's at least the standard purpose of taking garage. There is concern coming in from Decipher that there could be more in the stairs lurking, as there has tended to be with this Perseverance team, but no one is home for now, and Decipher will check all the way down to the basement. They may not even need to breach that hatch to take basement control. The defense is actually kind of pretty spread, 2 over in A, but Clip that is rotating A side with Decipher pushing in.
And an interesting thing to note, Yogurt has managed to get his hands on the Oral that Baker had invested, so that's a huge value for them. He's popped the hatch over to the B bomb site, but yeah, like you said, the defense has now kind of tightened up a little bit. 2 members here in the connector. 1 spread out towards Wine, but the offense is even more spread out than the defense by a long shot. It's a very interesting attack idea. With 1:30 left on the clock, Decipher might be able to find some value if he finds Annie. Well, I think they spotted each other just there. Maybe not. Apparently not, as Annie gets a free 1 to make that 2, as Decipher just walks right around the corner, completely oblivious to Annie's positioning, and was looking like some momentum has completely fallen apart. But Yogurt, with that rifle in hand, is going to drop in, finds the first 1, but has no idea that Ghost is tucked into the corner. And a clean 2nd round. PRBC, I mean, they lost 2. So that's 1 of those rifles that Baker had, the Oral, not making it in, but they should have plenty of money to full buy into this 4th round. I'm sorry, this is the 3rd round of the 2nd half.
Yeah.
5-3.
It's a solid back and forth here this afternoon with two teams that are unknown, and that's the beauty of a new season, Phil. There's a ton of new players and a ton of new teams that have joined from the preseason to Season 1 start. I suspect we'll continue to see new teams coming in over the course of the next couple of weeks, and the trend will be, who are they? I haven't heard of this team. Something I think we'll see a lot of with so many new squads jumping in, but there will be the familiar faces like we had earlier today with teams and squads that and it's the beauty of of a new season. It's that fresh paint smell coming off of it, and I'm so ready for the action. And back to it we go. Round 9, 5-3. Perseverance trying to lock in map 1.
I couldn't agree more. I'm always excited to see the new up-and-coming teams. We're definitely going to get plenty of them, like you said, here in season number 1, and I'm excited to follow along with some of these newer guys and see who's really ready to etch their name in the statue that is becoming Breacher's competitive community, which is just growing so much every day. It's so exciting to see. Now here we see an interesting choice. Yogurt actually using breaching foam on the window towards the shower. And those windows that you can normally just break by shooting them or smacking them, we don't normally see people use the breaching foam, perhaps trying to use a little bit of an audio fake there. Throw the defensive off, and Cosmic finding a pick onto Splurge through that hatch. A good start here for Clip That. Round number 9.
SSJ outside of A site, ready to push in. The rest of the team has to get rid of Baker, who's holding down inside the bedroom, tucked in at bed. Decipher could push in. Cosmic could drop down through the hatch. Looks like Decipher likely will be the leader in this entry, but it's 4v5, and an early kill for Clip That sets them up to maybe get back into this. If they don't catch this round, I fear that Perseverance may have too big of an advantage. Decipher with the Cadillo finds a kill. And a big one at that. It opens up B-side. There's a blind fire shot through the wall that connects. And that's 2 down with the Cadillo.
Big round so far from Decipher, and SSJ tried and true there to back him up and seal the deal. Just like that, fighting back. Clip That. Back and forth. This is what we want to see out of these Breachers matches, 4-5 on the scoreboard, and now they got momentum. They got the money to fully invest. That round, I don't think we noticed, but Izzy was rocking a shotgun for most of that round, able to scoop up full rifle now. So at full force. And meanwhile, over on Perseverance side, the money is a little bit shattered. They're going to perhaps force buy into this one. Baker's picking up an Omen. Ghost can buy a Vesa. So we're going to see another buy round from them. But if they don't put this one on the board, they're really going to be economically on the back foot.
Yeah, it is a crucial round as we get ever closer to the end of map 1. A winner will be crowned, or we'll tie 6-6 and go into maps 2 and 3 to finish off and find out who will take the series. But a vital round nonetheless, like you said. And unfortunately, it's only going to be that partial buy, so it's odds against them for Perseverance, outside of the fact that they have the point lead, something that they can kind of relax a little bit with, but you don't want to keep giving rounds into this Clip That team. And they had a moment of comeback there. I think that 6-3 really would have locked in the map for them, but now I do feel like it's kind of anyone's game as Clip That does a little bit of assessment there with the drone. A smoke coming in as well, but that's upstairs. An indicator that there could be a breaching charge coming in on the backside of Splurge and PX. Be careful. Flash, utilities, nades, lots of tools coming in, but ultimately no push.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if this whole pressure over towards the storage is just a ruse. As you see the EMP, well, I don't know, perhaps the EMP is rotating around towards the storage side. Baker with that Omen able to find the opening frag on a Yogurt, and Omen so effective with that. Is he busy with the backstab down the stairs? Finds a nice little 2-piece, and just like that, it's a 3 versus 3, and a little bit of map control now going to the way of Clip That. As all 3 remaining members of Perseverance Got 2 on the bomb sites, and Baker roaming on the upstairs with that Omen, able to find another kill and upgrade his SMG to an RCP.
Nice little bonus out of finding that kill, and they've found a couple so far up here on this second floor. It's been a thorn in the side of the Clip That offense. Otherwise, it would have been a successful breach in and taking control of this garage space. What's the choice now? SSJ and Izzy both split and roaming. And that's kind of how their approach has been so far. As SSJ goes down, it leaves Izzy alone now to work into B site, which is relatively open. The defense now rotating back, as I say that, to defend from a potential B plant. But it doesn't matter. EMP's down, over by a site. And I don't know if Perseverance know that or not, but yeah.
I don't believe so. It was SSJ had the EMP there, and as soon as Baker got that kill, he backed up pretty quickly. What they do now know is that Izzy Busy is over here by that proximity sensor in the back hall side, so that's going to allow 3 remaining members, if they choose to kind of surround and cut off Izzy Busy's options. I'm with you. I don't think they realize that in order to win the round, she would have to go all the way upstairs, get the EMP, and come back down. Or, of course, she could just find the last 3 remaining kills. Yeah, those of you who don't know, Breachers 5v5, 2 win conditions, killing all the members of the enemy team before the round expires, or defusing those bombs with the EMP. But Annie gonna shut things down. 6 on the board for Perseverance. That is map point. Worst they can do now is a tie, Nightfire.
Yeah, and Perseverance just a round away from taking the map and setting themselves up for series map on map 2, because again, it's a best of 3 with season 1 instead of us playing all 3 maps out regardless. If you can win the first 2, then the series is done. And so, it looks like a lobby issue on my side. Maybe
Crashed,
it was just me. Yeah, okay.
Fix my plug-in. Because both of us get back in.
Interesting.
Bear with us. Technical difficulties ensue. Actually, I don't see any servers popping up. That might be
Might have been
a huge whoops. New patch. Oh, they're all popping back up for me. Competitive mode coming out right now.
We'll have to see. We may go to a brief timeout to sort this. But I think we are going to have to... you have to replay the series, as far as I can tell.
Assuming we were not the only ones that got kicked and everybody else got kicked as well.
Well, yeah, I don't see the lot. Well, we'll figure it out on our end. For now, we're going to have to cut to a break. When we come back, hopefully, the 6-4 map 1. Otherwise, it could very well get replayed. But that's not for me to decide. I'm not a mod. Who knows? We'll be back in a few.
Unfortunately, we lost all of the stats with the server
Oh.
crash, but SSJ, someone to keep an eye on here
muted
as
there
they
too
have.
for round 1. Apologies, folks. Technical issues fixed. At least you got action.
That's yeah. So as I was saying, SSJ wanted to keep an eye on there. They had at least 13 kills, I think, going into the first half. I think right before the servers crashed, they had something like 17 on the board. So with a nice big fragger to the side of Clip That, who is now winning 4-3. So I don't know if they missed the explanation. What's happening is after the crash, we've come back in, starting at the most recent halftime score, which was tied 3-3. Yeah, so they were tied 3-3 going into this. Now technically Clip That is up 4-3 here in the second half. What is technically the second half? It's still showing the first half, but you guys follow along. SSJ finding another kill there on a PX through the table, I believe that was, into the connector. Nice little spam angle, and they're going to be planting the EMP. SSJ is just doing everything, killing everyone, planting the EMPs, pushing forward for the team. Just front line. Oh, with the flank from Splurge with the Oral, and Decipher didn't realize that he was there. That brings it down to a 2v3. Baker and Splurge, the double flank, and the Omen comes in big. All of a sudden, this round is looking very doable for Perseverance. And Splurge finds another one. Now it's just down to Yogurt with that RCP coming around the back, almost finding the kill on the Baker, but it is somehow Perseverance, Splurge, and Baker. And I believe there was a 2 versus 5 there at the end.
Yep.
Tie things up 4-4 now here on the second half of Hideout.
Yeah, apologies on those technical issues. I'm glad that the folks in chat are vocal, and we did manage to fix those. But yeah, a reminder, it is 4-4. Just like Phil said, we're in the back half of the series. We had that technical reset. It threw us off. It's all good. Okay, we're into a long doubleheader at this stage, and well, it's
server just crashed again.
Oh goodness gracious.
This is we're shaking off the rust. The game is also shaking off the rust.
Yeah.
I think I think we gotta have a policy, because this has happened before in a matchup, and when they tried to remake the lobby on the same, like it's an entire region usually that's going out with the dedicated servers, and so they made the server again in the same region, and the region once again having an issue. I think they might have to jump onto a different server region to get this match finished. This is the second time we've seen this happening. I mean, it happens. It's nice that we have dedicated servers that are solid, but it has a little bit of these types of downsides when you do have these server issues.
Yeah. It's all right. We'll hopefully fix or figure out what is causing the issue, and I think we're going to have to go to another break while we sort out the technical side of things. When we come back, we'll be unmuted and ready for you for round 1. But yeah, I think we have to go to another reset here. I see us going back into the lobby.